Hey, shh. Calm down. The show is about to start. Reese on the radio. Turn it up. Turn it up low. Turn it up loud.
It's like a dream come true.
Reese on the radio.
Yo, let's get it.
Due to the nature of this program, discretion does not exist. It's Reese on the radio. Right now on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Let's go. Scallywags, nutmeggers, all across the fruited plain. It's time for Reese on the radio on NewsTalk 1080 WTIC. I hope you guys are ready to go because I am ready to go. Because I think we need to have a call to action. I didn't think it was necessary yet. I kind of wanted to wait it out. I wanted to be patient. I like the idea of striking when the iron is hot. That comes from my publicity days. You know, when I worked with Angelo Ellerby, was a guest on this show, double exposure. Great mentor. Worked with everybody from Dionne Warwick to DMX when I worked with him. And that striking while the iron is hot thing is important. But I always thought to be thoughtful and strategic. It's just who I am. An idea will pop up into my head. I'll think about it, and I say, it sounds great. I'll give myself 15 minutes, and never mind. I do it a lot. My brain works like that because it's not so much I'm worried about the impact. Sometimes you can be a little reckless. Come up with a plan, it backfires because you didn't think about, the blowback, the response. Some people move in those spaces. Well, if we do this, we could get that. I kind of like that. I like that reasoning. Some people are overcautious even. What am I getting at? I know. I'm getting there. It's a long monologue. Let me explain what I'm getting at. This thing that I see happening in Connecticut with Republicans and with you, it is a new energy, an energy I did not see 3 years ago when I got here. I don't know if it was the show. I don't know if it was the topics. I don't know if it was the atmosphere. I don't know if it was the election. I don't know. It could have been a perfect storm of all of those things. But there's something new happening. And instead of just striking while the iron is hot, I believe we need to seize on it. Folks, a change is happening. Whether you want to see it or not, it's there. A change is happening. And you can be a part of it if you want to. Or you can sit back and support the change. I don't believe that everybody should get involved. I'm not this guy who's, I'm not this muckraker who's going to tell you go outside your window and shout, I'm as mad as hell and I'm not going to take it anymore. I don't want that. That's not enough. We are at a call to action point in all of this in Connecticut. I want you to take into consideration what happened at the end of my interview with Renee Muir, representative, yesterday. It may have been subtle. It may have been lost on you, but a couple of people have responded to me about it. When I told the representative, we're going to stop this, she chuckled.
And reply with, "You can try."
And then replied, "You can try." That's right, Roland. I want you to think about that. I want you to think long and hard about that. Because if that doesn't tell you that from her point of view, I nor you have the power to stop this or them, I don't know what else you can possibly insinuate from it. You can't tell me you can try. Not me. I'm not this guy where, like Marty McFly, where somebody calls him chicken and then all of a sudden I've got to prove that I'm not a chicken. No. I'm not that guy. But when you tell me, and what's my intent in all of this? To not poison the water or put poison in the water that could irreparably harm the people in and around it. I'm just trying to find alternatives. I'm trying to be helpful while other people are attacking those who are questioning it. And the response is, you can try. Again, I don't know about you, but I know me. And there's no way I'm letting that slide. It's personal now. My agenda right now is to stop the Army Corps of Engineers, DEEP, the EPA, and anybody else from putting this in the water. They're going to have to do it behind everyone's backs. And if the news media won't help us get the word out, if the people will not stand up against this, if you're going to leave it to 20 people who stand outside of City Hall in Hartford, if you're going to leave it to those 20 people, that's fine. But again, remember, this affects you. You don't have to rally. You don't have to join any protests. But what you have to do is support the effort. You should support the effort to keep DEQUAT and other herbicides out of your water. It's a good thing to fight for. It's a uniting effort, cause, belief that we shouldn't put an herbicide that the EPA admits in its own findings needs to be checked on every 3 months. Now, I want you to hear that. The EPA says that after they apply this herbicide that is indiscriminately killing all plant life that it touches, that they then must come around, every 3-4 months to check out the water quality. I thought the science was done. I thought the science was complete. I thought there was nothing that was needed to be considered. The EPA has to come back and test the water after the fact? What for? It's clean, it's safe. There are no problems, but yet they do. But guess what? I went one step further. I went to the EPA's website, folks. You remember what the representative said? They've tested this. Yes, they did. Its most extensive test happened almost 30 years ago. Every other website we've been to that's tested DEQUAT, who has said that it is harmful and can harm the gut, has been within the last 4 years. The EPA, 2013. It's over 10 years. Everybody else has got a recent report on it. EPA, nada. I want to congratulate some Republicans who have stepped up. In what is now the, I think, third letter, has come from State Senator Henry Martin and Stephen Harding. This one, which was released today, January 9th. Dear Commissioner Dykes, on July 3rd, WFSB reported that the Army Corps of Engineers said there are no plans to use DQAT this year. DEEP's July 8th press release stated that some social media posts have claimed that this DQAT project has been stopped, paused, or canceled. To clarify, DEEP has not been informed that the project has been paused as of the time of this press release. The WFSB report was not some social media post. Was the WFSB report accurate? Will DQAT be used this year or not? Signed, Senators Henry Martin and Stephen Harding. There are people who are responding to what we are doing, and they are acting. And I'm not going to lie, even Mark from West Hartford is celebrating the fact that the Republicans are taking this, and they don't have to take it to the press. They don't have to take it to social media. They don't have to take it anywhere. They are contacting the people saying, you're telling the people this, we want answers to it. And they're getting answers. They're being made to answer them. If you don't think that this is important, if you're on the fence about whether or not you should be a part of it or you should support the efforts to put a stop to this, I want you to consider something. I want you to consider something from the words of the people who want DQAT in the waters. Their opening statement. There has been false and misleading information on social media that has triggered fear among residents about the use of the herbicide DQAT to combat the growth of hydrilla in the Connecticut River. It alleges federal and state agencies, scientists, and environmental advocates are intentionally harming rather than protecting the river and other waterways in the face of serious environmental threat from hydrilla. Serious environmental threat from hydrilla. It is important that the facts about the problem and the evidence-based method to eradicate it are accurate. The Connecticut River is our premier natural resource. As its stewards, we must preserve and protect the river, its ecosystems, waterfowl, and wildlife to ensure the safety of residents who live along, recreate, and work on this river. Hydrilla is a highly invasive and transmissible plant that is a threat to the Connecticut River's natural ecology. The threat is very real, including the degradation of river habitat, water quality, native plants and animals, and the loss of waterway navigability and fishing, lowering the property values and increase in flood risks. Ladies and gentlemen, according to the people who wrote this letter, this is dire. So I ask one question. Where's the headlines on this in our news media? Why did it take some outlets a week to even report on it? Where are the stories? Go look them up. They're 4, 5, 6 days ago, one report. And it's all about social media posts. There has been no call to action from these media outlets. There has been no 5-alarm fire ringing of bells. No, nothing. Not a thing. When Mark and West Hartford called the news media, their response was, yeah, we heard about it. Are you going to cover it? Well, is there a protest? According to the powers that be, this is dire. If we don't do something about it, the waterways will be annihilated. This is going to affect people who live near the waterways, fish in the waterways, wildlife, recreation. Economies will crush because of this. That's why they have to go with the nuclear option. Why isn't the media losing its collective minds over it? Because it's bull. They would be making sure that the news media covers this from morning till night. They would be holding important meetings. Governor Lamont would not be going, hey, it's not my deal, it's the Army Corps of Engineers. Again, read them. Read the reports. They're not there. They're dismissive at best. And the reason why they don't want to report on it, the reason why they don't want to have a conversation about it, is because the more you know, the more you'll push back. This is an effort to keep the story as quiet as possible, and to only allow certain people to be able to talk about it, report about it, while your waterways get poisoned. That's what they are. They're getting poisoned, like it or not. If you can smell it, you're inhaling it. Ask the folks over at Lake Hayward yesterday. Right here. Lake Hayward. Ask those folks. They got a letter sitting on a tree that says, your lake was treated with an herbicide on Tuesday, July 8th. They used Flumigard. I looked up Flumigard, and you're not supposed to be able to inhale it. But Craig in the car, he drove past there. He could smell it. And folks, if you can smell it, that means you're inhaling the molecules. How's that safe? How's that safe, folks? It says, do not use the water for the following purposes until the date below. The next day. Drinking or cooking, boating, fishing, and swimming, watering of livestock, or irrigation. The irrigation part says don't do that until the 13th. All the others, give it 1 day. All I want to understand is, why are they doing it without the knowledge of individuals? I don't seem to understand that. But like I said, we're going to get to the bottom of it. I bet you now they'll start reporting on it. Just watch. You got to take a break. We'll come back. We've got other things to get to the bottom of, plus your phone calls at 860-522-WTIC. That's 860-522-9842. It's Reese on the Radio, and we'll be back shortly on WTIC News Talk 1080.
I love a day on the water with friends, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis sometimes holds me back. Now I'm all in with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi. Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy.
Teaching music is my passion, but my active psoriatic arthritis can limit me at times. Now I'm treating my joint symptoms with Skyrizi.
With Skyrizi, most people with plaque psoriasis saw 90% clearer skin at 4 months.
Or if you are an adult with active psoriatic arthritis, Skyrizi helps you move with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
There's nothing like clearer skin.
There's nothing like better movement, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi. Visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZZI to learn more.
Keep WTIC News Talk 1080 with you all summer long for the information you need. Weather forecasts from Bob Cox help you plan your summertime activities. Taking a trip? Mark Christopher's traffic reports will get you there without the hassle. Plus, up-to-the-minute news reports twice an hour. No matter where you go, listen on the Odyssey app and stay informed with what's going on back in CT. Because when you're on vacation, we're not. WTIC News Talk 1080.
What if your retirement paycheck never stopped, no matter what the market does? Russ Hackman is president of Hackman Wealth Partners and can talk to you about your forever plan.
You need to have a plan that has certainty of not running out of money in a rising inflationary environment. And if you don't have a forever plan, then you don't really have a plan. Your advisor may be saying, you're fine, but under their breath, it's like, well, until you're age 92. Or unless we have a 2008 again, right? You need income and cash flow guaranteed for life. There's multiple ways of doing that. We present to you your own forever plan.
Call for a no-cost, no-obligation comprehensive review, 860-321-6800, 860-321-6800, 860-321-6800.
Investment advisory services offered through Brookstone Capital Management, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Discussion of safe and secure products and guaranteed income streams refer only to fixed insurance products and are subject to the claims-paying ability of the insurance company.
And now, a WTIC news update.
83 degrees in Hartford at 2:30. I'm Dave Mager, WTIC 1080 News. A Milford jury is still deliberating at the Rural Valley murder trial. It's their third day behind closed doors. The jury has told the judge twice that it's deadlocked on the murder charge. Valley admits to stabbing 4 fellow teens at a Shelton party in 2022. He claims self-defense. 17-year-old Jimmy McGrath was killed. The death toll in the Texas floods is at almost 120, with more than 170 missing. Crews are searching for remains along the Guadalupe River as they clear debris.
Recovery efforts are extremely broad, a 30 to 40 mile stretch along this river, and you can go just about anywhere up and down the river and you will see people walking on both sides. They're going through the trees, they're looking at brush piles, they might be out in boats.
CBS's Jason Allen. There's a potential primary challenger to Democratic Governor Ned Lamont. State Rep Josh Elliott of Hamden filed paperwork yesterday. Some progressives like Elliott consider Lamont too conservative, and they're concerned with recent vetoes. Lamont has yet to announce a run for a third term. A formal announcement from Elliott is coming Monday. On Wall Street, a big bucks milestone at NVIDIA.
NVIDIA became the first company to surpass a $4 trillion market valuation, continuing a stunning rise as the Silicon Valley chip maker grabbed the early mover advantage in artificial intelligence chips and has not looked back. NVIDIA first hit a $1 trillion market cap in May 2023, quickly hitting $2 trillion within 9 months and then $3 trillion in June 2024.
CBS's Jason Brooks reporting. On Wall Street, the Dow up 149, S&P climbing 26, NASDAQ now up 148. Sports, Red Sox and Colorado on WTIC from Fenway Park, pregame at 6:10. Yankees host Seattle, Mets in Baltimore, Yard Goats at Portland. WNBA, the Connecticut Sun beat Seattle this afternoon 93-83. Wimbledon quarterfinals, top seed Jannik Sinner a winner, beating American Ben Shelton in straight sets. Novak Djokovic leads Flavio Caboli 2-1. On the women's side, Iga Swiatek and Belinda Bencic advanced to the semis. For more, check out WTIC.com. I'm Dave Mager, WTIC 1080 News.
Wisdom teeth giving you trouble? Columbia Dental's expert oral surgeons specialize in comfortable and efficient wisdom tooth removal. Open 7 days a week. Call 860-645-0111 or visit columbiadental.com.
Hi, Joel Johnson here with Johnson Brunetti. Taxes, don't pay a nickel more than you're supposed to, especially getting close to retirement or in retirement. Call or text the word taxes to request your free copy of our Tax Explorer Guide, 1-800-705-1232. Call or text the word taxes, 1-800-705-1232. Don't pay an extra nickel in taxes.
Investment advisory services offered through JB Capital, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Insurance products offered through JN Financial, LLC.
If you've been injured in an accident, don't let the insurance company decide how much you're worth. At Carter Mario Law Firm, you're more than just a client and more than just a quick settlement. When you get Carter, we'll help you get more. More experience, more attention, and more accessibility. The Carter Mario Law Firm's zero-fee warranty means you pay nothing unless we win. Visit getcarter.com or call 877-GET-CARTER.
Men, summertime is here, and that means vacations, summer barbecues, outdoor parties, camping, beaches, and so much more. This is Dale for Northeast Men's Health, and if you're like many men, you may not be feeling like yourself this summer. Perhaps your energy is low and you aren't sleeping well. Maybe your workouts aren't as good as they used to be. Maybe even your sex drive is off. And if what I'm describing is you, it's very likely you're suffering with low testosterone. But low T doesn't have to affect you anymore. Just call Northeast Men's Health, get treated, and see how it changes your life. If you're like most men, you'll feel so much better. Deeper sleep, improved vitality and clarity, greater strength and energy, and an improved sex drive as well. So call us. Just $99 gets you a PSA and T test and a medical consult. And if you start on testosterone the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 800-930-5956. That's 800-930-5956. Or go to northeastmenshealth.com. We have 6 offices across the Northeast to serve you, including our new office in Warwick, Rhode Island.
Paul's new drone startup just lost its most genius computer scientist.
We just lost our best genius to some new genius who's got a genius new idea. I'm going to have to find a new genius, or 2 half geniuses, and fast.
He needs a computer scientist that can keep his startup from falling down.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
Hey, it's Matt, your leaf filter trusted pro. Gutters are an often neglected part of the home. They're also one of the most important. Clogged, overflowing gutters can cause serious problems like foundation damage or basement flooding, which can cost thousands of dollars to fix. Let's face it, cleaning gutters yourself is not only a hassle, it can be dangerous. But when you get Leaf Filter, you'll never have to worry about cleaning clogged gutters again. Get started today by visiting leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free inspection. If you decide to move forward, we'll professionally clean, realign, and seal your gutters before installing our patented stainless steel micro mesh system. Leaf Filter keeps out everything but the water. And it's backed by a lifetime transferable no clogs warranty. So you're protected for good. We're in your neighborhood and ready to help. Visit Leaf Filter today for a free inspection and estimate, and you could save up to 30%. Visit leaffilter.com/deal. That's leaffilter.com/deal.
Comcast Business is small businesses into engines of modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. How retailers become seamlessly restocking, cybersecurity must-visit shops. And how healthcare offices become the data managing caregivers that we all depend on. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, advanced fiber solutions, and Wi-Fi backup, Comcast Business is powering the engine of modern business, powering possibilities.
Now through July 21st, new customers can get started with 150 megabit internet for $59.99 a month for 12 months with a 2-year agreement. Plus, ask how to get up to a $500 prepaid card for your business. Call and switch to Comcast Business today. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and automatic bank account. Early termination fee applies. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra.
Hey, did you hear? It's our birthday, 100 years. Did you happen to get us a present?
We're back. Reese on the Radio, NewsTalk 1080 WTIC. I also want to give a shout out to the Connecticut Sentinel. Please, by the way, Connecticut Sentinel, if there's one of your writers or if you guys listen regularly, please find a way to get in touch with me. I'd love to talk to any one of you folks over there, writers over there. I love the coverage that you guys are right on it. As soon as this letter came out, you guys posted it about the state senators who have now sent a letter to William Tong to investigate the Connecticut Church, the Metropolitan Community Church of Hartford. If anybody knows them or knows how to reach them, please let them know that Reese on the Radio is giving them a shout out, and I'd really love to connect with them. They follow me, and I follow them, or at least I assume that I do. I'm almost certain that I do. But if I don't, I'll clarify that or make sure of it today. So I want to get in touch with them. If they ever want to come on the program, they have an open invitation to come here because they are doing the work that you just can't find anywhere else. It's the Connecticut Sentinel. Please find them on X or anywhere else you get your news. This story, again, with the DQuad gets much, much deeper because a company called Solitude, we tried to contact the district manager to find out who commissioned the spraying of this herbicide called Flumigard. Now, I looked it up. It appears that it is not harmful unless it is ingested or inhaled. And what we learned from Craig in the car, who's my good friend, called me up personally, and he rang my phone 3 times. And I'm like, wow, that's not his MO. He'll call me, he'll leave a message, or he'll text me. He called me 3 times. And he sent me this picture of the notice, which says, caution, Lake Hayward, 2B/was treated with herbicide. 2B/was treated with herbicide on July 8th. Pesticide name or names, Flumigard. Time to be treated between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. Connecticut deep permit. They even put that number on there. And then it says, do not use water for the following purposes until the date noted below. Drinking or cooking, not to use that till today. Boating, fishing, and swimming, not until today. Watering of livestock, not until today. Irrigation, not until the 13th. They have a telephone number who you can contact. But DEEP approved this. And people in the community are going, hey, do you know what they sprayed in there? Nope, I don't know. Nope, I don't know. Was anyone asked? Was anyone informed? Who did they inform? Was there a public notice given? Maybe it was put on the website that no one goes to. How are they supposed to know? Because, again, they meet their obligation, don't they? They meet their obligation if they put it on their website. Well, it was on our website because that's what people do every day. They just go onto the DEEP website, find out what's going on. Okay. So we're trying to find out what exactly happened. For those of you unfamiliar with Lake Hayward, it's in East Haddam. So we're going to get to the bottom of that. Hopefully the district manager who I contacted, left a message for, perhaps he'll call me back. Or not, but we hope that he does. We'll see if he does. I found something interesting. And Mark in West Hartford gave me an idea, so I did it. I didn't want to have to go through the entire letter, so I did this thing called Copilot on Bing, Microsoft Bing. So I copied and pasted the Democrat response to DQuad. I read it to you earlier, about the misinformation they released. And so in doing that, I copied the letter and I pasted in Copilot. And I instructed Copilot, upon Mark's request, to change DQuat to COVID vaccine and to change Hydrilla to COVID-19. And it did it. It did. It took the whole letter and changed it. Because he said, you know what? It sounds, this press release sounds eerily similar to how they told us to respond to the COVID vaccine and COVID-19 overall. So we took that press release and we added Folger's crystals. Let's see if you notice. Legislators speak on the use of COVID vaccine to combat COVID-19 in our communities. There has been false and misleading information on social media that has triggered fear among residents about the use of the COVID vaccine to combat the spread of COVID-19. It alleges federal and state agencies, scientists, and public health advocates are intentionally causing harm rather than protecting communities in the face of a serious public health threat from COVID-19. It is crucial that the facts about the virus and the evidence-based method to control it are clear and accurate. Public health is our most vital resource. As its stewards, we must preserve and protect our population, our healthcare systems, and the safety of residents who live in, work in, and visit our towns and cities. COVID-19 is a highly transmissible virus, and its threat to public health is very real, including the strain it places on hospitals, the impact on vulnerable populations, the disruption of everyday life, and the loss of loved ones, employment, and financial stability. Again, all we did was change Hydrilla and Dequat with the COVID vaccine and COVID. That's all we did. If we do not act now, the effects of COVID-19 in our communities will be long-lasting, and recovery may become increasingly difficult. Understandably, the use of any medical treatment can cause concern. However, if we do nothing, the COVID-19 crisis will worsen, and the burden on our healthcare systems and families will intensify. Other, more aggressive interventions may be needed later on to control further outbreaks. The COVID vaccine, when properly administered in the recommended dosage, is not considered hazardous. This product has passed comprehensive Federal Food and Drug Administration risk assessments and has been approved for the emergency and full use. State and local health departments oversee vaccine distribution and ensure that trained professionals administer it safely. If you're sitting there bugging out, there's a reason. It's just copy and paste. That's all it is. This was exactly what they told us about the COVID vaccines, isn't it? Is it not? I'm telling you, and I wish I was kidding. When I wrote the little format out, I said, change this note for COVID-19 and COVID vaccine. It just, as soon as I pressed send, it wrote the new letter. It was instantaneous. It was like it was sitting there waiting for me. I was hoping someone would ask. That's what I was thinking Copilot was saying. Let's go to the phones. 860-522-WTIC. Let's go to Doug in Ellington first. How are you, Doug?
Excellent, Reese. I love your show. I thought I might get a recording because I thought Lake Hayward was in Colchester. I thought when I was a kid I used to go there.
It's telling me. I just looked it up. I wanted to make sure that I had it right. At least this portion of where it was.
Because when I go up Route 2, there's a sign that says Lake Hayward in Colchester, and I used to go there when I was a kid. I don't remember it in Haddam, or East Haddam, or wherever you said.
Okay, I will double check just to make sure, but that was the first thing I did. I was like, where is this? So that people, in the event that they asked, that's what I had on here. But, okay, I could be wrong. My apologies if I am. But
it's in East Haddam, but it borders Colchester and Salem.
Okay, so they say it borders Colchester and Salem.
That's correct. I know it's in Colchester for sure.
Okay.
All right, my friend. I love your show. Thanks for taking my call.
You got it, sir. Let's go to Fred in Middletown. How are you, sir?
Hey. Well, just segueing off of that COVID thing, I got to pull a two-line rhyme from a poem regarding the COVID vaccine.
Yeah.
A shot in the arm can't do no harm. Actually, junkies say that, and they might be wrong. But about the Diquat, it's the new glyphosate. I was just chatting with someone. Yeah, you knew that? It's in Roundup, dude. They've taken glyphosate out of Roundup, and they're using Diquat now.
Yeah, listen to me. It ruined. No, first of all, there's dibromide, and then there's glyphosate. Here's the whole thing. You want to talk crazy? Everybody who listens to me on this show knows that on July 11th, which is coming up in 2 days, I rush myself to a 7-Eleven to go pick up a slushie. I go pick up the Slurpee. That's my thing, a Coca-Cola Slurpee. I've been doing it since 2004. Well, guess what's in it, sir? Glyphosate. My wife just started telling me about that, and I go, oh, come on. I can't have it anymore. I can't.
No, I dare say not. Yeah. Yeah.
But, yeah, sure enough.
One last quick thing. I put up quotes from radio hosts. I have one of you up right now on one of the kiosks. It says, radio report. I don't need your holiday. I mock it. And then it says Reese Hopkins on Juneteenth. Yeah.
I appreciate you, sir. I'm assuming it's about Kwanzaa, right?
Well, Juneteenth.
Oh, Juneteenth. That's the one. That's the one.
I don't need your holiday. I mock it. Yeah, Reese Hopkins on Juneteenth.
I appreciate it, sir. Thank you. So I got to take a break. And we'll come back. We'll take the rest of the phone calls here. But I want you to think about that. That COVID-19 memo, in essence, or that diatribe that they were giving us. It's the same deal here. Trust the science, they tell us. Said right here on this show yesterday. We need to trust the science. This deal with not trusting government, that's not on us. It's like you do the thing that makes us suspicious and blame us for being suspicious. That's not how it works. It's like if I cheated on my wife and then I told her that the problem is her. You're too suspicious.
Man, it could be.
No, be quiet, bro. Her suspicions are the problem? I couldn't tell my wife that. If I'm the one that's cheating, I couldn't tell her that the problem is her suspicion. See, it wouldn't be a problem if you weren't suspicious of me cheating. I don't know. We'll take a break. We'll come back. More news, more views, your phone calls. It's Reese on the Radio, WTIC News Talk 1080.
Hi, I'm Joe with SimpleSaleUSA.com, and I buy houses cash. If you own a house and want to sell it fast at a fair price, call me at 203-896-4000. I can pay cash and close in as little as 7 days. I buy houses in any condition, any price range, and more importantly, anywhere in Connecticut. I'm a private real estate investor who buys several houses a month, and I want to buy more. I buy inherited houses, divorce houses, behind in payment houses. I even buy my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. Do you own a house that is trash and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great, because I love buying junk houses. I buy vacant houses, abandoned houses, condemned houses, and even foreclosure houses. If you own a house and want to sell it fast, call me at 203-896-4000. That's 203-896-4000. 203-896-4000.
Hey, it's Matt Soroyce, and I know with the temperatures heating up, sometimes wearing that extra layer of clothing isn't exactly summer friendly, but we may be trying to cover up those pesky extra pounds from the holiday season. Wouldn't it be better to feel comfortable in just a single layer while you're having fun in the sun? Well, Awaken 180 Weight Loss can help you get to whatever goal you have in mind. Maybe you have low energy, joint or muscle pain, and all you want to do is go for a hike or a swim a few laps without feeling like you're so winded. Awaken 180 Weight Loss can get you there too. With Awaken's one-on-one coaching from the amazing counselors, they will walk you through every step to get you to your goal weight. Awaken 180 Weight Loss is the long-term solution for weight loss. They've helped over 25,000 people lose the weight and lose the weight for good. Just imagine where you could be by Labor Day if you just give them a call today. So come on, let's make this summer the one where we feel our best. Set up your free consultation today at 844-346-1800 or visit them online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Are you having trouble? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2025 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, starting at just $98 a pair.
actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aid.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to AudienHearing.com. That's AUDIEN Hearing.com.
At California Psychics, we know some people can't read the career warning signs, like your boss still not knowing your name.
You, Tina, Lisa, Sheila, whatever. Get that report to me by lunch, okay? It's Carrie, ma'am. Just get it done, Terry.
So talk to California Psychics and receive the career guidance you need. We only connect you very best, so guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. California Psychics. Visit CaliforniaPsychics.com today for limited time offers.
Listen to WTIC News Talk 1080 on the free Odyssey app. Download and like WTIC today for alerts on special programming.
All right, I got plenty of stuff to get into, and let's get to it. Environmental issues are this guy's literally backyard. So I haven't heard from him in a while, but let's get him on. George is in St. Louis. George, I'm sure you've been covering this DQuad story, or at least following it in some degree. What do you got?
Yeah, it comes from Bayer Corporation. They bought out Monsanto.
Mm-hmm.
And, anyway, paraquat is bipyridium dichloride. It's highly toxic to humans. It damages the mouth, stomach, intestines.
Mm-hmm.
If it's ingested orally. It damages the kidneys, lungs, and liver. It's meant to shut down photosynthesis in plants.
Yeah.
And it builds up. If you put succeeding applications, there's a buildup. And it's long lasting. It doesn't dissipate, in the atmosphere very well.
Right. Now DQuat is the sister or the lesser known or weaker version, as they put it. And I want to make a note that when you talked about paraquat, which is
they're relative. They're relative.
Yes, they are relatives, right?
They're relatives. It would be the best way to put it. It's been banned in India, Thailand, Brazil, Chile, Malaysia,
China,
and you guys are using this stuff.
Yeah.
What is the matter with you? By the way, if you have any concerns at all, go have the water tested. Just hire a company, go in there, have the water tested.
Yep.
To take the results to a lawyer and start a class action suit to whomever is behind this stuff.
The interesting part, George, you make a good point.
Don't take the news media, or don't take the state for their their
exactly.
opinion. Have the water tested.
George, give me a second.
Mistake
you make a good point.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. You make a good point. And here's the reason why the point that you just made is so valid. It's because according to the EPA and their use of DQuat in the Connecticut River, I've read everything that they have on it, that they've done in 2013, that they did in 2014, everything they read that they wrote about the use of it and putting it in the waterways. They express that they need to keep going back every 3 months to test the water quality. So this nonsense that it's, and we're talking about doing that, they're talking about doing that for a year.
One last point. There's a non-toxic way of clearing up your plant problem. Electrocution. You electrocute the plant. No, I'm serious.
I don't know if anybody wants to.
This is how you clear up the plant. You electrocute it and then take the dead plants out. It's that simple.
We have something
it's non-toxic.
We have another way. We have another way that we can use. In fact, I'm going to talk about that a little bit in the next break, because I just got a text message from Jeff Cordisco of C&D. I'm going to talk about what he texted me in a little bit. Thank you, George. Because yesterday, in talking to Representative Renee Muir, she said that the water was too deep for the eco-harvester to remove the hydrilla. And immediately I tried to get in touch with Jeff yesterday. I couldn't get him. and we were near the end of the show, so I knew I wouldn't have enough time to get him on. So I did contact him, and he texted me. In fact, do I have time? Yes, I got 2 minutes. Let me read what he wrote. Hey, Reese, in some cases, like pulling lily pads because they're so thick, it doesn't grab the root. But other than that, the Eco Harvester would rip all of it out. I'd be more than happy to show them. The only thing we can do is use one of our Dash Diver assisted suction harvesters and vacuum it all up. This company has divers, which is why I told people to go look at C&D's website, because then you can see exactly what they do. They have divers who do this. He also says, just to give you an idea, this is a lake in New York that used herbicide. They called us in to remove the dead biomass. This is what it looked like. All poisoned. We were getting sick when we were pulling this. So I actually have the video. I'm going to post it on my Facebook page. So go to reasonthenradio.com. We're going to go to the top of the hour. Dave Mager's got news. I'm going to see how quick I can get this posted on my Facebook page. In order for you to reach that, go to reasonthenradio.com. That's REESE on the radio.com. Just go to the top right-hand corner, click on Facebook, and you can go directly to my page. By the way, if you're not a friend, become a friend of Reese On The Radio on Facebook. As I like to say, don't be afraid, be a friend. I'm going to put this up, and thank you, Jeff, because I know he's listening. He says he sent me a text message. He said, oh, man, I'm a fan now. Thank you, Jeff. I appreciate it. So I'm going to post this up there, and we appreciate him for all of his help. He's giving this information for free. I would think that these folks would consider it. Maybe bring the guy down there. Maybe do a test run. That's all I'm saying. Of course, pay him. Let's get some news with Dave Mager in the WTIC newsroom. We'll be back.
WTIC is celebrating 100 years on the air and 100 years of serving Connecticut. This is WTIC and WTIC FM HD2 Hartford, an Odyssey station.
84 degrees, 3 o'clock. I'm Dave Mager, WTIC 1080 News.
This is breaking news from the WTIC newsroom on WTIC News Talk 1080 and WTIC.com.
Several verdicts in the murder trial of Raul Valley, who was 16 when he stabbed 4 other teens at a house party in Shelton in 2022. Valley, moments ago, not guilty on all charges on which the jury came to a verdict, including murder, manslaughter, and assault. The court clerk in Milford addressed the foreperson.
Mr. Foreperson, in the case of State of Connecticut versus Raul Elia Valley, has the jury agreed upon a unanimous verdict as to murder at count 1, manslaughter in the first degree intentional at count 1, assault in the first degree intentional at counts 2 and 3, and assault in the second degree intentional at count 4?
Yes, we have.
Will the defendant, Raul Elia Valley, please rise and face the jury? Do you find the defendant guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty.
The jury says it remains hopelessly deadlocked on other assault charges. The family of 17-year-old Jimmy McGrath, who was killed, has said it cannot forgive Valley in the case. We'll await their comment after this verdict. But again, Raul Valley, now 20 years old, found not guilty on murder and other counts in the 2022 Teen Party stabbing trial.
Wow.
I knew it was going to happen.
For Governor Lamont, WTIC's Morgan Cunningham reports.
Connecticut State Representative John Hamden has filed paperwork with the State Elections Enforcement Commission to run for governor in 2026. Elliott has not made any public statement about his intentions, but the paperwork was received and processed Tuesday morning. It comes as several Connecticut Democrats have been critical of Governor Lamont's leadership recently, particularly on his vetoes on bills addressing housing and benefits for striking workers. Elliott has been vocal in supporting progressive tax and criminal justice reforms in the state. This sets up a potential Democratic primary challenge for Governor Lamont, who has not yet announced whether he'll be seeking a third term, but has said that he's thinking about it. Morgan Cunningham, WTIC 1080 News.
An official announcement from Elliott will come Monday. The official death toll in the Texas floods is at 119, with more than 170 still missing. Crews are using heavy equipment to clear debris while also inspecting that debris for human remains. This is Captain Jason Walder.
We have spotters on the ground, so as this material is being removed, we are looking for anything of a sign of a person that may be within this material.
Meantime, individuals with debris piles are being asked not to take them apart with machines until they've been checked by search parties. On Wall Street, chipmaker NVIDIA is the first public company to top $4 trillion in value. The Dow now climbing 187, S&P is up 31, the NASDAQ is plus 168. And at 3:04, we check the WTIC forecast.
For this afternoon, quite warm and humid with a mix of clouds and sunshine, the high up to 87. Remaining warm and humid tonight, it'll be mostly cloudy. Some widely separated thunderstorms around, the low down to 70. For Thursday, cloudy, humid, couple of showers and a thunderstorm could lead to some ponding on streets and highways, the high of 81. Then Friday, it'll be warm and humid, couple of showers and a thunderstorm, mainly later in the day. After a cloudy start, a blend of sun and clouds in the afternoon, a high of 86. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
84 degrees. Now sports. Red Sox and Rockies on WTIC pregame at 6:10. Yankees host Seattle. Mets and Baltimore Yard Goats at Portland. Again, 20-year-old Raul Valley found not guilty on all counts that the jury decided in the case in Milford. For more, check out WTIC.com. I'm Dave Maker, WTIC 1080 News.
I'm an elder law attorney, Haley Allaire. Our greatest reward is happy clients telling us that they're very thankful for our help.
I'm Carolyn from Coventry. Recently, my 82-year-old mother had a few falls and ended up in rehab. What we thought would be temporary care became permanent. When we applied for Medicaid, it was overwhelming. From our first meeting with Allaire Elder Law, they listened and guided us, providing clarity, kindness, and compassion. We were finally granted Medicaid, and a huge weight came off my shoulders. Thank you, Allaire Elder Law team.
AllaireElderLaw.com.
You'll get more than you expect with McValue at McDonald's. So when you've spent too much on a night out, get deals on the after party. When you've got date night, get deals on favorites that'll make you their favorite. And when you've got family for the weekend, we've got breakfast.
Having options tastes better. Enjoy a refreshing Coke Zero included in either the $5 hot and spicy McChicken meal deal or the $6 McDouble meal deal. Price and participation may vary. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at endurancewarranty.com. Auto repair bills are through the roof. $3,000 to replace the transmission. $4,000 for a blown engine. And if your manufacturer's warranty is expired, you'll have to cover it all out of pocket. You need an Endurance Auto Protection Plan. No matter what the mileage, if your car is under 20 years old, Endurance can get you covered on the engine, electrical system, transmission, AC, drivetrain, and more. Endurance has plans for any budget. Repairs can be done at the certified mechanic of your choice, and they're paid directly with no middleman. Plans cover 24/7 roadside assistance, towing, battery jumps, fuel deliveries, tire changes, lockout services, and a 30-day money-back guarantee. Act now and get our elite benefits, including complete tire care and key fob replacement. A $2,000 value at no extra cost. With Endurance, you could never pay for covered auto repairs again, so call now for your free quote. Call 800-253-6203. 800-253-6203. 800-253-6203.
No matter what you drive, having the right... So take control with a new set of Bridgestone tires from Town Fair Tire. You'll choose from the area's largest selection of Bridgestone tires, and you'll get the Bridgestone tire you need at the guaranteed lowest price. Plus, Town Fair will give you more free services than all other tire dealers, clubs, or online sites. Nobody beats a Town Fair Tire deal. Nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
College holds a mythic place in American culture, but there are stories you won't hear on the campus tours.
The higher-ups are concerned about one thing, and that is avoiding scandal.
I'm Margot Gray. On the new podcast, Campus Files, we cover everything from rigged admissions to the drama of Greek life and student protests. Listen to and follow Campus Files, an Odyssey original podcast. Available now on the free Odyssey app and wherever you get your podcasts.
Reese on the radio, making sense of the news. Yeah, even when it makes no sense at all. Now on WTIC, News Talk 1080.
Let me get to Steve in Andover real quick before I get to some headlines. How are you, Steve?
Hey, good afternoon.
What do we got?
Going back to yesterday, I called in late yesterday and you couldn't take me. I get it.
Okay.
But on this whole the vegetation killer.
Yeah,
chemical thing
dequat.
going on. So I happened to listen when Tim from Hamden was on.
Yeah.
And there was, it wasn't disparaging or anything, but I don't remember if it was you or him that made like a little comment. It was something about how, conservative and lefties agreeing on something for the environment. And I forgot how it was exactly worded. And I kind of took that and went, well, wait a minute. In reality, it should be conservatives who are worried about the environment because, like, we're the true conservationists.
Right.
The liberal, wacko, environmental, elves and alps and all the eco-terrorists, like, those are all the extremes, and they kind of get looked at in this prism that, we are the saviors of the forest in
Right.
the classic tree hugger comment, right?
Right.
But when you really sit down and analyze it, like, so many of your anglers, your hunters,
Mm-hmm.
all that kind of stuff are true conservatives.
Mm-hmm.
Never mind dirt bikes, ATVs, Jeepers, four-wheelers who love to get out in the woods
That's right.
with a mechanical device. So, viewing it though, and I get some people, all they can see, forest for the trees, no pun intended. It is the wackos, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Who, are chaining themselves to a tree 150 feet up.
Gluing
you know
themselves to store counters like Starbucks and stuff.
Yes.
100% right.
Exactly. But, and I'm happy to hear that, you and so many people on this, the listeners are all gung-ho on this because saving our environment gives all of us, we can all go fishing for stripers in the Connecticut River. You know what I mean?
Yep.
We can all take our boats, pleasure boats out, you know what I mean? Jet skis, whatever happens to be. And I think that kind of gets lost on a lot of people. And I don't know, it's just an observation I want to make based on, it was just a little comment that was made between you and Tim yesterday. And it wasn't disparaging, but it kind of just highlighted that sort of dichotomy, between the right and the left. And by rights, it should be us doing this.
That's such a good point that you're making, and I think it illustrates something else to your point that we need to recognize. In that, look, as much as we say or sort of go after Tim, I'll even use the word attack Tim on his ideological bent on things. The reason why I know that this resonated with him is because he truly does care about the environment. He doesn't look at it from the auspice of an AOC who believes that it's something that should cost trillions of dollars or that people should be penalized for financially, or as a means to control a group of people through things like carbon footprints and carbon credits and that whole bit, like the boondoggle that is the environmentalist movement, because that's what it is. It's a boondoggle. There are people who have been drawn into that who are true environmentalists who are now associated with the boondoggle. I think in this case, because it affects Tim's water as much as it does conservatives in the states, he can come out and side with us because he's not the ideologue that says, I need financial gain, control, and totalitarian rule over individuals using the environment as the buttress, so to speak.
No, yeah, I get that. And no, I'm not disparaging Tim, not at all.
Oh, no, I know you are. I'm just, that's what I'm making the distinction that you made.
Yeah.
It's like politically and publicly, these people who are running around claiming to be the arbiters of the environment and how it should be dealt with, they have another agenda. They're not true. They truly don't care about the environment because if they did, they'd be screaming to the rafters along with us.
No, exactly. I mean, let's face it, you met some of those sort of left-wing congressional people.
Yeah.
They wouldn't know, which part of a hook to put bait on if they're going to go fishing. You know what I mean?
Yep.
They certainly wouldn't know which part of a deer to aim at if they're going to drop it. You know what I mean? So, that you're right. For them, it comes down to two things: power and money.
Exactly.
And those are the two things that are the drivers. But for the rest of us who actually want to use the outdoors, I want a safe place to go ride my dirt bike that I can't do in Connecticut because this state is the no fun state, and it sucks. You know what I mean? I want to be able to catch fish that I don't have to worry about if I want to eat them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Am I going to end up with 3 eyes and 4 ears? You know what I mean?
It's a Simpson episode.
So all those sort of things that go with that, I mean, that's super important. So from us as conservatives, I think these are issues that we don't often attach ourselves to for fear of those peripheral wackos that we don't want to be associated with.
Yeah, you know what? But there's something interesting in that, Steve, that I've noticed over the years, and I've made this pushback maybe over the last 10 years as I keep having this conversation. I'm going, look, I refuse, and I'm sick and tired of, as a conservative, ceding the moral high ground to people on the left because they get to be, we care about people. Well, really, do you care about people? Let's put that to the test. And many people, as you just said, won't touch that stuff because there's already a connotation. There's already a stigma that's attached to it. Because if you have a conversation with some of your friends about those issues, they start questioning your conservatism. I was like, hey, man, why are you talking about that? That's something conservatives talk about. And I'm going, wait a minute, I don't cede that ground I don't cede that ground to liberals. Liberals don't get to talk about whether or not we're against racism. That's a conservative ideology, and it has been since our founding. When did we give that up? Who gave them the moral high ground on that? And that's been, as Charles Kreidelhammer famously said, the biggest problem conservatives had was that once liberals started making it their template, we ceded it to them and no longer talked about it. No, we should have never given up the ground on those things. Those things are what we believe in, and we should stick by them. That's all. Don't give that up to them anymore.
No, 100% agree with you, but it also comes down to the old, that old thing where, sometimes when you lie down with dogs, you come out with fleas. I mean,
yes.
So, and that's the problem with liberals is they're covered with fleas and ticks, and that's, it's not so much ceding the high ground; it's that you don't really want to be associated with them.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we should be grabbing these subjects and running with them for the reasons that you just stated.
Yep.
That's all I wanted to say.
Yeah. No, you're 100% right, Steve. No, I wanted to give you an opportunity. I appreciate you, sir. Thank you so much for calling back. Because I know you obviously wanted to chomp at the bit about it yesterday, so that's why you're here.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, man.
See ya.
You got it. It's an important point. It's an important point. That, if you believe in something, be it education, racism, even police brutality, it is okay for you to be a part of those causes. You don't have to align yourself with the ideology because, again, you remember what the extremes of all of those things are, right? You can shout down racism, but it doesn't mean you then have to start excoriating or marginalizing people of other races. You don't. You condemn racism where it is. No, that was racist. I won't tolerate it. That's it. It doesn't mean that you now align yourself with people who want to combat racism with more of it. No, you stick to your guns. That's how that works. Same thing with this environmental thing. And again, remember, this is a very important point to consider. If there's anybody who is going to flip 180 on this subject, it's going to be liberals. You think about where you are today on the subject of putting DQuat in the waterways. And Democrats, or liberals for that matter, who are now telling us we've got bipartisan support to put this stuff in the water because we listen to the science. And ask yourself this one question. Why? Why are they advocating for this? Under any other circumstances, they would never agree with this. We've seen case after case after case without fail that if this administration or conservatives or MAGA folks start protesting for something or agreeing with something, they take the opposite approach without even investigating it. I've got 2 examples of that, or one good example of that, today, later on in the show. We will get to it in due course. But for now, because we are sticking with our rules of engagement, let's get some headlines. Former CIA Director John Brennan and former FBI Director James Comey are under criminal investigation for potential wrongdoing related to the Trump-Russia probe, including allegedly making false statements to Congress. The Justice Department has told Fox News Digital. CIA Director Radcliffe referred evidence of wrongdoing by Brennan to the FBI Director Kash Patel for potential prosecution, according to DOJ sources. Many people believe that this was just red meat and a distraction for news that there was no Jeffrey Epstein news. Let me put it this way, because I'm fairly critical. I don't know. But I think it's a fair argument to make. I think it's a fair argument to make. This Jeffrey Epstein thing is too big of a deal to ignore. I really do believe that. It's too big of a deal to ignore, especially when you have people coming out saying things like this.
Yeah, I saw your appearance at CPAC with Ben and with Ted Cruz, and one of the things that you alluded to, and this is something Donald Trump has talked about, the DOJ may be releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients. Will that really happen?
It's sitting on my desk right now to review. That's been a directive by President Trump. I'm reviewing that. I'm reviewing JFK files, MLK files. That's all in the process of being reviewed because that was done at the directive of the president from all of these agencies.
So have you seen anything that you said, oh my gosh?
Not yet.
So Caroline Leavitt, the press secretary, says that Pam Bondi was taken out of context in that interview with John Roberts of Fox News. Other people are pushing back and saying, not so much, not so fast. This will not be damaging to the MAGA movement or MAGA at all when it comes to Donald Trump, but it is a ripple within the reputation, and it is a ripple in what's considered the most transparent administration in the history of this country. So it's worth the pause, and people outraged about it. I also feel like people are making a hell of a big deal about the Epstein file, primarily because they want their pound of flesh and they want to see people get arrested. There's a little bit of schadenfreude that's associated with this, but I'm just being honest. Do I want to see a client list? If there is one, of course I do. Do I want to know who's at the bottom of it? I don't care who's at the bottom of it. I don't care if they're Republican, Democrat, or alien. If they are responsible for it, I want it all. I want it all. But this idea that, somebody feel like, my entire world has been rocked by this. Calm down. Calm down. You wanted something. You thought you were on the verge of it. If anything, this is cliffhanger stuff. It's your favorite soap opera. And let's be fair. Okay? It's not dire. This waterway issue is an issue about that. And I'm getting comments in there. It's like, oh, you're talking about Epstein? I'm talking about people not putting poison in the water. Priorities. Seriously. And if somebody else on another network or anywhere else has talked about it, please get your fill. Seriously, get your fill. Also, it looks like the Paramount CBS deal may result in some serious cuts to broadcasting in a big way. A new report from the outlet called Status says that it could possibly be the end for late-night host Stephen Colbert and The Daily Show because of ratings problems on both of those networks and the lost interest in anti-Trump or anti-MAGA news or broadcasting on these networks. So that report says that in this Paramount deal, they're going to cut their losses and get rid of The Daily Show and Stephen Colbert. Whether or not it's true, we'll keep an eye on it, and we'll see what that's happening. Democrat nominee Zohran Mamdani holds a 10-point lead over Andrew Cuomo in the New York City general election for mayor poll. This says that incumbent mayor Eric Adams is in fourth place behind Curtis Sliwa. Yeah. They say that Mamdani has 25 points. Has 35% of the vote. Cuomo has 25. Curtis Sliwa with 14. And Eric Adams, the current mayor, has 11. 11. Apparently, the attorney Jim Walden has just 1%. That's really bad. 13% of those who were polled said they have no idea who they're going to vote for. And it also appears that Democrats are starting to get on board with Mamdani. Instead of considering the rest of the country, it looks like they're going to be jumping onto the Mamdani bandwagon because it is, of course, New York City. This idea of taking New York City voters and thinking that that resonates with the rest of the country has always been a problem for Democrats, but it looks like they're not learning from them. Here's Timu Obama, also known as Hakeem Jeffries, talking to MSNBC about that.
You're not ready yet to say whether it's a good thing. You want to meet with him. You want to kick the tires. At this juncture, you're not ready to say that this turnout, this energy that he tapped in New York is good for the party yet.
Oh, no, listen. I mean, I think that when you can increase the electorate, particularly as it relates to parts of the electorate that came out in significant numbers, which include the South Asian community in many parts of New York City, and certainly younger folks under the age of 39 in New York City, that is absolutely a good thing. And of course, he should be credited with pulling off that kind of campaign that reached so many folks.
That's an important thing to Democrats, pulling in so many votes. For them, you go with what works. And they're not looking at this as just saying, hey, this is New York City. How does that resonate in Milwaukee? How does that resonate in Denver? They're not considering that. They have to pull him in. Mamdani, they have to pull him in. They have to make sure he isn't rejected throughout the Democrat Party. Why? Well, Hakeem Jeffries explains as he's pushed even further to give a full-throated endorsement of Mamdani and his, I guess, recipe for politics in the Democrat Party.
But the tension here, if I'm hearing some possible tension, is, as you know, the Democratic Party has had a hard time with some of these, whatever you call them, democratic socialists, insurgents, more liberal, energetic candidates, even when they do what you just referred to. So we have a history here from Bernie Sanders, some of the way the AOC or members of the squad were treated, and now some of the apparent reaction where people are wondering, is there room in the tent? Not saying that I mean, you have a lot more power than him, not saying you would endorse the whole platform. But when his platform is affordability, ideas around democratic socialism, raising the tax rate in the city of New York, free buses, a different type of foreign policy, if we simplify, but much more harshly critical of the Israeli government, say, than I think the congressional leaders have been in terms of approaching the entire conflict. Is there room in the Big Ten of the Democratic Party for that right now? Or
do you understand why he's asking all of this and why he's so long-winded in this? It's because he wants to make sure he get everything, because Hakeem Jeffries is about to make news. Are you going to parse some of this stuff? Are you going to weed out this Democrat socialism platform? Are Democrats now going to embrace socialism in some way? This is important to understanding who the party is. And as I told you on this program, they will never, ever separate themselves from the socialists that they are.
for you is that TBD?
Well, certainly we're a big tent party, and I think what I'll say in terms of the House Democratic Caucus family is that every single member of the House Democratic Caucus, from Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez all the way to Representative Jared Golden and everyone in between, progressives, New Dems, and Blue Dogs, we in the House, we represent the gorgeous mosaic of the American people. That's a good thing. Now, I think what we have to do is make sure that we can more intimately communicate with the American people, that we understand their challenges and their frustrations as it relates to the desire to build an affordable economy that actually works.
There you have it. Democrats, socialists, one big tent. That's it. And Mamdani, his view, the grocery stores, all that stuff. Yep, that's a thing. We'll talk about that on the other end. Let's take a break. More news, more views, and, of course, your phone calls at 860-522-WTIC. It's Reese on the Radio on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Follow WTIC News Talk 1080. Don't miss out on important updates in Connecticut, from breaking need to know news, weather alerts, and more. Follow WTIC News Talk 1080 on the Odyssey app now.
Hi, Joel Johnson here with Johnson Brunetti. Hey, retirement income. Are you sure that you're maximizing your retirement income? Get the retirement income checklist from us, absolutely free. Text the word checklist to 1-800-705-1232. Again, call or text the word checklist to 1-800-705-1232. A checklist to maximize your retirement income.
Investment advisory services offered through JB Capital, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Insurance products offered through JN Financial, LLC.
Come join us for the first annual Goat Tacos, Tequila, and Taps Festival at Duncan Park, July 24th through the 26th. Presented by the Hartford Yard Goats. Enjoy live bands, over 20 restaurants featuring signature dishes from local and regional chefs, also chef cooking demonstrations, and of course, plenty of tacos, tequila, beer, and so much more. Select from over 100 types of beverages to sample from. For ticket info, visit GoTacosTequilaTaps.com. Don't miss a weekend filled with vibrant culture on the field.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime. We're not here to be the biggest. We're here to bring you something we believe is better. Our plans start at just $20. You'll get the same fast nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/facts or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
And now, a WTIC News Update.
84 degrees at 3:30. I'm Dave Mager, WTIC 1080 News. High in the upper 80s this afternoon, low about 70 with some thunderstorms tonight. The verdict, not guilty on murder and lesser charges for 20-year-old Raul Valley. He was 16 when he stabbed 4 other teens at a Shelton house party in 2022. He claims self-defense. Killed was 17-year-old Jimmy McGrath, a student at Fairfield Prep. After 3 days of deliberations, the jury says it remains deadlocked on several charges. A mistrial was declared on those charges, but after previously reporting they were deadlocked on the charge of murder, jurors issued their verdict.
Will the defendant, Raul Valley, please rise and face the jury? Do you find the defendant guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty.
Valley and his attorney did not comment as they left the courthouse. The verdicts, not guilty on murder and intentional manslaughter in the case of Jimmy McGrath. Not guilty of first-degree assault in the stabbings of Ryan Hines and Tommy Connery. Not guilty of assault in the stabbing of Faison Teal. Judge Shari Murphy addressed the court.
Once again, I understand that a jury's verdict will never fully satisfy one side or the other. Not everyone will walk out of here satisfied today. And I apologize for that, but this is the process that we have, and the court believes it to be a fair process.
The jury deadlocked on reckless manslaughter, 2 counts of reckless first-degree assault, and 1 count of second-degree reckless assault. Mistrial declared on those charges, but the bottom line, Raul Valley found not guilty of murder and lesser charges in the stabbing of Jimmy McGrath in 2022. On Wall Street, we'll get an update in just a second. First, let's check the WTIC forecast.
For the rest of our Wednesday afternoon, quite warm and humid with a mix of clouds and sun, the high up to 87. Mostly cloudy, warm and humid tonight. Some widely separated thunderstorms around, the low only down to 70. Then Thursday, cloudy, humid, couple of showers and a thunderstorm could lead to some ponding on streets and highways, the high of 81. Friday, a warm and humid day with a couple of showers and a thunderstorm. After a cloudy start, a blend of sun and clouds in the afternoon, a high of 86. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
Up to 86 degrees right now. Sports, Red Sox and Rockies on WTIC. Pregame at 6:10. Yankees host Seattle, Mets in Baltimore. In the WNBA, the Connecticut Sun broke a losing streak beating Seattle 93-83. At Wimbledon, Novak Djokovic wins in 4 sets. Top seed Jannik Sinner beat American Ben Shelton in straight sets. The Dow is up 191, S&P climbing 32, NASDAQ up 169. For more, check out WTIC.com. I'm Dave Maker, WTIC 1080 News.
Speeding while driving gives you less time to react. Another car could turn out in front of you. A pedestrian could be walking their dog. Follow the speed limit to keep them safe. Speeding catches up with you. Paid for by NHTSA.
Is your old AC system buzzing its last breath? Install a new energy-efficient system with Call the Bee, and we'll buy your old AC unit up to $1,500 and put it to good use to train the next generation of local HVAC pros. Enjoy lower energy bills, quieter performance, and comfort all summer long. Visit callthebee.com. That's calltheletter.com to schedule a free estimate. Call the Bee, Connecticut's plumbing, heating, cooling, and electrical professionals. We'll be there, and we'll be fair.
Slow? Clogged? Backed up? Don't worry. ALO Home Services has you covered. For only $93, our technician will clear any drain in your home. And if it can't be cleared, it's free. Call for details. Licensed for safety. HIC 628926, P102776688, S104062441, S3308699, SM3004646, E1185643.
Being injured in an accident can leave you feeling vulnerable and lost. You need a fast and fair resolution and a law firm that can protect you. At Brown, Payne, Dearest & Scott, our team of personal injury lawyers have over 100 years of combined experience and will treat you with respect and dignity. If you've been injured, BPS lawyers are here to help. At BPS Lawyers, you get more than a lawyer. You get a full-service law firm. Call us at 860-CALL-BPS or visit bpslawyers.com. Bruce Newman is responsible for the content of this ad.
Comcast Business helps turn today's small businesses into engines of modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. How retailers become seamlessly restocking, cybersecurity must-visit shops. And how healthcare offices become the data managing caregivers that we all depend on. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, advanced fiber solutions, and Wi-Fi backup, Comcast Business is powering the engine of modern business, powering possibilities.
Now through July 21st, new customers can get started with 150 megabit internet for $59.99 a month for 12 months with a 2-year agreement. Plus, ask how to get up to a $500 prepaid card for your business. Call and switch to Comcast Business today. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and automatic payments with bank account. Early termination fee applies. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra.
There's nothing like coming home to a nice, cool house, unless it's not. Say, come on into Campbell. Campbell Cooling is all about service 24/7. Campbell's seasoned expert technicians use all major brands, including American Standard and Mitsubishi, to do the job right. So if you're concerned about what condition your conditioner is in, contact Campbell Cooling. Campbell wants to say thank you to all of our military men and women for their service. Veteran-owned and managed. Visit CampbellCooling.com.
Campbell Cooling uses all major name brands, including American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning and Mitsubishi Heating and Cooling Equipment.
We all hear the radio. IRS, they tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6481. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an 8+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-575-6481. That's 800-575-6481.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Whoa, hold up. Let's not put all 100 candles on the cake. Slow your roll. That's a fire hazard. And there's expensive radio equipment in here. And I'm not quite sure what I'm wearing is fireproof.
We're back at Reese on the Radio on WTIC News Talk 1080. We do have another bit of news that we need to go over. And this was why I was giving a shout out to the Connecticut Sentinel. And they had this up within an hour of its release. This is a letter from Senator Henry Martin and Senator Eric Berthel. This was actually, it was released yesterday or sent yesterday to Attorney General William Tong. I got a hold of it this morning. And it has been everywhere now. And you can find it online. Project Veritas has already posted it. And Reverend Jacob has also posted it. You remember Reverend Jacob Dell was on the show Monday. He's posted it. And the aforementioned Connecticut Sentinel put it up as well. I'll read the letter, and then I'll give you some follow-up. Here's the letter. Dear Attorney General Tong and Chief State Attorney Sullivan, we write with regard to the Project Veritas video exposing Connecticut pastor aiding minors with chest binders. Please review this recent video here. Reverend Jacob Dell, pastor at the First Congressional Church of Woodbury, is calling out such licentiousness in churches and pushing for accountability using Connecticut's Constitution. Reverend Dell notes how Connecticut's Constitution, Article 1st, Section 3, offers remedies to such things, and he wants law-breaking churches to be investigated in order to halt practices that undermine true religious liberty. Attorney General Tong, has your office received Reverend Dell's correspondence? And do you feel it worthy of an investigation? Isn't it worthy of an investigation? The reason why it's worthy of an investigation is because the subject that started this whole Project Veritas investigation comes from a woman who lives in the state named Elvira Said. You remember the video? We aired some of it here. Her daughter, Irene Said, took her own life back in 2024. She visited with Reverend Aaron Miller at the Metropolitan Community Church of Hartford. Reverend Miller contacted DCF, creating a wedge between Eileen and her mother. Well, when I contacted Project Veritas this morning, I find out, oddly enough, that while this letter has gone out, Elvira Said is in Washington, D.C. She was at a hearing at the Federal Trade Commission, giving her testimony about her daughter during a conversation about the damage of gender-affirming care on minors. She is also meeting with the Department of Justice. So, all of this attention to this story is further and further growing. It's growing into a way that's meaningful. There will have to be people, not just held to account, but people who will have to report on this. Ignoring it isn't going to be helpful. Ignoring it will not be tolerated anymore. And we don't have to rely on them to report on it. We don't have to rely on the mainstream media. We know who they are. We know where they are. But that's the reason why we need to support places like the Connecticut Sentinel. It's the reason why we need to support programs like this. We need to support people out there who are telling the truth. Share, not just share their material. Get the word out. Most of this stuff has nothing to do with partisan, whether you're conservative or you're a liberal. None of that stuff plays a role. All of it is. This is about silence. This is about people not speaking up, knowing that they should, and then looking later on, realizing having never said anything about it, it getting out of hand. people feeling emboldened by the fact that, look, they're not going to say anything. They're scared to death of us. You know, I can't speak up on this behavior. I'll get canceled. I can't speak up on this behavior. I'll be pushed out of polite society. I don't want any trouble. I just want to live my life. I say that to a lot of people. Then you wake up one morning and you realize that you can't do this and you can't do that. I can't say that. I can't talk about that. When did that happen? Well, when you were sitting on the sidelines with your eyes over the ears in your eyes, pretending I don't want to be a part of it. You realize that your whole world changes. You become more and more secluded. That's all it's going to do. That's all it's going to do. It's just going to make you more and more isolated from it all. Okay, I get it. But I'm glad this letter is out. It is being shared all over the place. By the way, if you haven't seen it online, it is everywhere. It is everywhere. And growing and growing and growing. Because this shouldn't be allowed to happen. And we had 4 or 5 years of people doing nothing. I'm happy to say that now you, like I said in the opening monologue, can be a part of it. You don't have to shy away anymore. There's nothing to be ashamed of. There's nothing to be ashamed of. I mean, are you doing something that's wrong? You're outraged about it or you're concerned about it? Is that wrong? I know you know it isn't. So, say something. You can, or just share it. You don't even have to say anything. Just post it and just say, hey, I'm going to leave this right here. Let people read it. Somebody will be outraged enough to do something. Just do your part. Like I said, I'm just saying you can. Let's go to the phones. 860-522-WTIC. Richie's in Newington. Hello, Richie.
Hey, thanks for taking the call.
My pleasure.
I just wanted to, I wanted to just give a comment on the New York City mayoral race. I started listening a little late, so I don't know if you touched on any of this, but I think that there's, the elitists of the world have some intent that's going on here. Mm-hmm. Maybe it's my tinfoil hat. I don't know.
Okay.
But if you look at it, Namdani is your far left candidate, right?
Yeah.
Cuomo is your leftist candidate,
mm-hmm.
and then you got Adams, who is a center left,
mm-hmm.
and then Sola is your conservative, and Cuomo is being presented as your moderate. Adams is being presented as a conservative, even though he's still center left.
Right.
And Sola is going to be presented as your right-wing extremist. And I think that it's meant, with the media coverage, it's going to attempt to establish a shift towards the left. In other words, planting seeds on a national level with media coverage that people should move to the left. That ideas like Adams, who is still a Democrat, is being considered the new conservative, and that's something that's been going on for many years.
So, okay, let me make sure I get this right from you, Richie. You're saying that in order to eliminate center leftists or moderates, for that matter, you paint a guy like Adams as a conservative. And the mainstream guy for the left is a guy more like, in other words, sort of, normalize a guy like Mamdani?
I think that's the intent, yes, that it would normalize Namdani,
right?
Because you have Cuomo, quid pro Cuomo, getting placed as right of the Democrat,
right,
because Namdani is the endorsed Democrat.
That's right.
So Cuomo is perceived as being right of the Democrat,
correct?
Even though he is still a left wing guy.
Yeah. Isn't that interesting, though? But you make a good point, Richie, because I think in all of this, to sort of take your point here, guys like Cuomo and guys like Adams clearly know that even though they're on the left, they understand how conservatism helps a city like theirs. So they want to teeter on fiscally conservative while they promote social democrat or social leftist ideals, right? We can't get rid of the people who make the millions and billions in New York because we need them. And we need to make sure that we tax them at a very, very low rate, an increasing low rate over time. But we need to lure them here by tossing them a bone now and again that sort of keeps them in place. And now that's being looked at, as far as Adams and Cuomo is concerned, as those people, they don't care about us. They don't want free health care. They don't want free buses. They don't want the socialism that we want and health care for all. And they immediately get ostracized. And again, as you said, the normalization of a guy like Mamdani gets done in the sense. And if you look at, this is the crazy part, if you look at the people who supported Mamdani in this primary, who are they? They're the people that Cuomo and Adams are alleged to be sort of giving us a pass to, right? The wealthy left.
Sure.
Yeah, it's a good point that you make, because I do believe that. Look, I think that in a place like New York, in San Francisco, in Los Angeles, even in Chicago, in Indiana or Indianapolis, that Mamdani is the perfect candidate for any one of those places and similar places like it. But the failed policies of that never resonate where it counts. And that is middle America, who, guys who work on farms, guys who own their own businesses, guys who moved out of big city because they're sick and tired of the nonsense. They think that they have the population on their side, guys like Mamdani. They think they have large populations on their side, but it's not resonating. I think that there's a large swath of people who live in those cities who realize that Mamdani is nothing more than he's a novelty. That's the way I look at it.
I think in the end, either when all the dust settles, I think either Cuomo or Adams is actually going to win the race. But I think that this is, I think that again, it's an intent to normalize. That's the word you used.
Yeah.
To normalize the further left, the shift politically further left, and media coverage. Okay, is on mainstream media is deliberate and intentional, and I think that it's presenting these ideas of state-run grocery stores, etc., as these are new ideas that need to be considered. Well, and then what happens is that people do start considering things like that.
Yeah.
And then after that, the person who's a conservative, in this case Silva, he's going to be framed as being an extremist.
Yep.
And then your traditional suburban, your suburban Connecticut Republican, who might actually be, considered a little bit left on a national Republican scale, is being framed as an extremist. And I think that that's just a way to set up seeds for the way that people think in the future.
Yeah, you 100.
Hey, Reese, thanks for listening to my tinfoil hat theory.
No, hey, listen, you couldn't have done it on a better day. I appreciate you, sir. Thank you, man.
Right.
You got it. All right, let's take a break real quick. We'll come back. More news, more views. Don't go anywhere. If you're on the phone line, stay there. I'm going to get to you in short order. We'll take a couple of, get some bills paid at this part of the break, and then I'll get right to you in a second. So stand by. It's Reese on the Radio on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at endurancewarranty.com. Auto repair bills are through the roof. $3,000 to replace the transmission. $4,000 for a blown engine. And if your manufacturer's warranty is expired, you'll have to cover it all out of pocket. You need an Endurance Auto Protection Plan. No matter what the mileage, if your car is under 20...
This Nicole chick says that is calling because they put a
ACE
article on...
and more.
Our website about her? I don't know.
Budget. Repairs can be done at the certified mechanic of your choice, and they're paid directly with no middle.
WTIC?
24/7 roadside assistance, towing, battery jumps, fuel.
Maybe, I don't know.
There's
something
lockout.
About an article about her.
Money back guarantee. Act now and get our elite benefits, including complete tire care and key fob replacement. A $2,000 value at no extra cost. With Endurance, you could never pay for covered auto repairs again, so call now for your free quote. Call 800-253-6203. 800-253-6203. 800-253-6203.
Can you ask her real quick what the story was about?
Hey, it's Matt Soroyce, and I know with the temperatures heating up, sometimes wearing that extra layer of clothing isn't exactly summer friendly, but we may be trying to cover up those pesky extra pounds from the holiday season. Wouldn't it be better to feel comfortable in just a single layer while you're having fun in the sun? Well, Awaken 180 Weight Loss can help you get to whatever goal you have in mind. Maybe you have low energy, joint or muscle pain, and all you want to do is go for a hike or a swim, a few laps, without feeling like you're so winded. Awaken.
That she got arrested, and the charges were dropped.
Coaching from the
we had put the article up
through every step to get you to your goal weight. Awaken 180 Weight Loss is the long-term solution for weight loss. They've helped over 25,000 people lose the weight and lose the weight for good. Just imagine where you could be by Labor Day if you just give them a call today. So come on, let's make this summer the one where we feel our best. Set up your free consultation today at 844-346-1800 or visit them online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy. In 2011, I founded Wesley Financial Group with one goal in mind: to help honest folks out of their timeshares permanently. Today, I run Wesley with my two sons, a real family business, treating every client and every employee like we'd want our own family treated. That philosophy has helped us grow into the largest, most trusted timeshare cancellation company in the United States. Fortune magazine even recognized us as one of the best places to work. Why? Because we genuinely care. In fact, some of our former clients were so moved by their experience working with us, they joined our team so they could help others to timeshare freedom. If you're stuck in a timeshare, give us a call. Let our family help your family.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit kit. 800-408-4040. That's 800-408-4040. 800-408-4040.
It's Reese on the radio. Ask your doctor if common sense is right for you. On News Talk 1080 WTIC.
We're back. We will get to your phone calls in a second. Coming up in the next hour, of course, we've got our winner of the Between Rounds Bagel Bakery and Sandwich Cafe contest. A dozen bagels a month for 6 months, courtesy of Between Rounds, located in South Windsor, Vernon, and Manchester. Make sure we do that. Also, later on in the show, the stupidest thing I read today, we're going to really dive into the one that I read today, coming out of the publication called Vox. We're going to get into that as well. I can't believe that I actually saw the story now. It's everywhere. We're getting to that. Plus, we've got some other audio and video to get to on that level. Also, we've got some movie news that I need to get to. Apparently, if you're into the Marvel thing, you'll probably like it. But if you don't like the Marvel movie stuff, you're probably not. But I'm a big fan of the franchise, even if the movies suck, and they have been awful as of late. I'm going to talk about that a little bit as well. And, of course, your phone calls. Jason, I did not see you there. Hello, Jason D, in the chat room as well. We'll read some other stuff in the chat room because I missed a lot of people who were there. We'll also talk about, there was another thing that I had, and forgive me if I missed it so far. Should I take this call? Should I take this real quick or no? Or should I deal with it off air? Roland? I feel like I should deal with it off air.
Okay.
Yeah, let's deal with it off air. Let's see if we can get that individual. You know what? Let's see. I know exactly how to deal with it. I'll deal with it myself. Yeah, so we got all of that coming up. And, of course, like I said, your phone calls. We'll talk about all the stuff we did not deal with yesterday because I know I have some news that I need to get into. In particular, because I know I have it here on my roster, I didn't get to it. This was the Ashley Crossan. She is the National Education Association's Teacher of the Year. And also Fernando Mateo to sort of dovetail off of the Mamdani story about him wanting to create or build government grocery stores in the 5 boroughs. There have been some pushback by a guy named Fernando Mateo. And I knew this guy from way back in the days. He used to be the spokesperson for the livery drivers in New York, especially in the Upper West Side. Not Upper West Side, I guess Washington Heights. There was a problem. You might remember this back in the news, I want to say in the late 80s, early 90s. Livery drivers in Washington Heights were being killed, not just robbed, killed And this guy, Fernando Mateo, was their biggest advocate, marching in New York, getting the attention of Mayor Giuliani to get their livelihoods protected, and Giuliani assisted him, and he's a big deal. He's also he's in charge of he's a spokesperson for the bodegas in New York City. And he had something to say about Mamdani's efforts to build government grocery stores. We'll play that audio too. But now let's get our first check of weather and traffic for the show. Jason Caterina's got weather, and Mark Christopher, he's in the BPS Traffic Center. Happy Hump Day, Mark.
Well, same to you, Reese. Thank you very much. Well, good afternoon, everyone. This traffic report being brought to you by Columbia Implant Center in Manchester. If you're heading into Hartford, eastbound side of 84, delays about a half mile before 46th Avenue into the tunnel. Looks like on the right shoulder, I see a couple of tractor trailers over on the right shoulder just prior to the tunnel. So use caution there. Westbound 84 tied up, approaching the Bulkley Bridge out to 46th Avenue. If you're southbound 91's a little slow in Windsor, 36 to 35, again 33 to 32 A and B. Another slowdown by exit 28. Northbound side 91, that moves well. Cromwell through downtown up into Windsor, 291, 384, okay. 2 eastbound moving well. Glastonbury to Marlboro. 9 northbound a little slow. Harbor Park to the Irrigoti Bridge. 91 south, Meriden, you're running slow from 19 to 17. 84 eastbound slow traffic 17 to 18 in Waterbury. 84 westbound in Waterbury slowing 23 to the Mixmaster. Southbound Parkway, you've got delays 60 into the area of 59 in New Haven. Northbound Parkway slowing, approaching 59. South 95 New Haven tight 46 down to 43 in West Haven. Stuck in traffic again? Don't waste another minute. Columbia Implant Center in Manchester, get you in and out fast. Often in just one day, open 7 days a week. Get your smile back now. Columbia Implant Center, ColumbiaImplantCenter.com. Traffic and weather together on the 8's WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
For the rest of our Wednesday afternoon, quite warm and humid with a mix of clouds and sun, the high up to 87. Mostly cloudy, warm and humid tonight. Some widely separated thunderstorms around, the low only down to 70. Then Thursday, cloudy, humid, couple of showers and a thunderstorm could lead to some ponding on streets and highways, the high of 81. Friday, a warm and humid day with a couple of showers and a thunderstorm. After a cloudy start, a blend of sun and clouds in the afternoon, a high of 86. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
WTIC is celebrating 100 years on the air and 100 years of serving Connecticut. This is WTIC and WTIC FM HD2 Hartford, an Odyssey station.
86 degrees, 4 o'clock. I'm Dave Meagher, WTIC 1080 News. High in the upper 80s this afternoon, low about 70 with some thunderstorms tonight. Raul Valley, now 20 years old, a former student at St. Joseph High School in Trumbull, found not guilty on murder, intentional manslaughter, and lesser charges. It's the case of the teen party brawl in Shelton in 2022 that killed 17-year-old Jimmy McGrath of Fairfield Prep. 3 other teens were stabbed. After 3 days of deliberations, the jury came back deadlocked on reckless manslaughter and other charges. A mistrial was declared on those counts, but the court clerk asked the jury foreperson about verdicts on murder and other charges.
Mr. Foreperson, in the case of State of Connecticut versus Raul Valley, has the jury agreed upon a unanimous verdict as to murder at count 1, manslaughter in the first degree intentional at count 1, assault in the first degree intentional at counts 2 and 3, and assault in the second degree intentional at count 4?
Yes, we have.
Will the defendant, Raul Valley, please rise and face the jury? Do you find the defendant guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty.
Valley admitted stabbing the 4 teens but claimed self-defense. The jury previously reported it was deadlocked on the murder charge but came down with that not guilty verdict this afternoon. The verdicts, not guilty of murder and intentional manslaughter in the case of Jimmy McGrath, not guilty of first-degree assault in the stabbings of Ryan Hines and Tommy Connery, not guilty in the stabbing of Faison Teal. Valley and his attorney did not comment as they left the courthouse. The family of Jimmy McGrath has said they can't forgive in the case. We'll hopefully hear from them later. The death toll in the Texas floods is at 119, with more than 170 still missing. Crews are using heavy equipment to clear debris while also inspecting that debris for human remains. Also, those with debris piles are being asked not to take them apart with machines This is Jonathan Lamb of the Kerr County Police.
We asked them
Now, look, I don't want
not to use heavy equipment
The only reason why I'm calling
to
you
take down those debris piles until they've been checked by a search party, because it's possible there are victims in that debris pile. We don't want to disturb that.
More from CBS reporter Chris Fox.
Kerrville Mayor Joe Herring called this a story of tragedy and of heroes.
The recent numbers reported break my heart, and they break the heart of everyone up here, everyone who's been working since July the 4th.
In Kerr County alone, they've recovered the bodies of 59 adults and 36 children, 5 girls and 1 counselor from Camp Mystic among the missing. Chris Fox for CBS News, Kerrville, Texas.
Democratic State Rep Josh Elliott of Hamden is running for governor. He'll make it official at a press conference Monday. It's a potential primary challenge to Governor Ned Lamont, who has yet to announce a run for a third term. Some progressives like Elliott are disappointed with Lamont's recent vetoes of bills on housing and strike relief funds for workers. Elliott calls himself one of the state's strongest advocates for tax equity. On Wall Street this afternoon, the Dow up 218 points. S&P closes up 38 points. The NASDAQ climbed 193. Sports, Red Sox and Rockies on WTIC pregame at 6:10. Yankees host Seattle, Mets in Baltimore, Yard Goats at Portland. At Wimbledon, quarterfinals. Top seed Yannick Sinner beat American Ben Shelton in straight sets. Novak Djokovic, a 4-set winner. On the women's side, Iga Swiatek and Belinda Bencic advanced to the semis. And the WNBA matinee at Mohegan Sun, the Connecticut Sun break a losing streak, beating Seattle 93-83. For more, check out WTIC.com. I'm Dave Mager, WTIC 1080 News.
Erectile dysfunction affects nearly 50% of men over age 50. But even with so many men affected, finding a trusted provider to treat the condition isn't so simple. This is Dale for Northeast Men's Health, a Promenic restorative health practice, and I'm excited to announce the opening of our newest location of Northeast Men's Health in Warwick, Rhode Island. As a Promenic affiliate, Northeast Men's Health can offer men with ED the latest treatment protocols, which are shown in medical studies to be effective in well over 90% of men. And unlike groups that only offer wave therapy or online pharmacies that just sell pills, we offer a variety of treatments to help get you the results you want. You should also know that Northeast Men's Health is a true medical practice, which means our providers have access to a complete range of treatment options to get you back on track. So call Northeast Men's Health today. Your initial visit is only $99 and includes a medical consult, blood work, and if medically advised, test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-930-5956. That's 800-930-5956. Or go to northeastmenshealth.com.
It's Reese on the Radio. And don't say we didn't warn you on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
Bagel Deli and Bakery. Between rounds.
And we want to say congratulations to Mary Ellen B. out of South Windsor, Connecticut. She is the recipient of the dozen bagels a month for 6 months, courtesy of Between Rounds, the Bagel Bakery and Sandwich Cafe. So if you'd like to get your opportunity to win a dozen bagels a month for 6 months, you got to go to reeseontheradio.com. That's REESE on the radio.com. That's REESE on the radio.com to participate. Must live in the state of Connecticut and must not have won within the last 6 months. So make sure you have it because they will find out. They will know. And please leave your birth date. It has it there. And also your telephone number. Again, I will not call you. No matter how much you beg, I will not call you. I pick up the phone and call you. I will not release your information to anyone except for the folks at Between Rounds. Okay, maybe Roland because then he updates it in Between Rounds. Okay, so it'll just be me and Roland in Between Rounds. That's it. Okay, so that's what you have to do. Go to reeseontheradio.com. In a bit, we will get to your phone calls. Also, we'll get to the stupidest thing I read today, which involves immigration. A new story out of Vox said something that doesn't seem to make sense to me. Also, I want to re-engage about this Axios story that says that Democrats want more violence. They want people getting shot. And why we have not heard anyone denounce that. this Axios story should be talked about everywhere. Hey, what's the deal with these people saying they want people shot? That they want people storming the White House? There's, again, absolutely silent. It's nowhere. This is Axios. Like, it's Axios. We have actual Democrats who spoke, of course, anonymously, saying that their constituents are telling them this. And what makes it crazier, what makes it all crazy, is that the people who are suggesting this, they're suggesting that this violence should occur, they're affluent, white, suburbanites. Not a story? Not a story? That's insane. Wow, it's crazy. Let's get another check of the weather and traffic with Jason Caterina and Mark Christopher in the BPS Traffic Center. Mark, you would be considered suburban, middle. No, I'm not putting you in that category, buddy. I'm messing with you.
Well, I live just south of Hartford, so.
Oh, you live just south of Hartford?
Yeah.
Would that be considered the subs? The suburbs?
I guess.
Yeah, it would be considered the subs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I live in Wethersfield, the first town south of Hartford. So.
That's.
Is that suburbs?
It's called Wethersfield. You hear a name like that? It should be like in a book.
There's a big controversy. It's been going on a long time. What was the first town in Connecticut? And Windsor claims they are. Wethersfield claims that.
They want to know what your hat says, Reese.
Border Hartford, so it's interesting. Hey, if you're heading into Hartford right now, 84 eastbound, you got delays. 46 Sisson Avenue.
Next time you come back, just announce what your hat says.
Okay.
47 Sigourney, 91 southbound. You've got.
You still got the T-shirt thing up on your site?
Windsor.
No.
Oh, okay.
Another.
People are trying to buy T-shirts.
Oh,
if you're
damn,
traveling
really?
north on 91, no problems. Cromwell.
Yeah, they wanted your hat too. They wanted to buy your hat.
Good east of the river. 2 eastbound, no issues. Glastonbury into Marlboro. 9 northbound, a little slow. Harbor Park to the Aragoni Bridge. 9 north, again, a little tight as you move from 34 up to 36 in New
Yeah, I
Britain.
think that
84
woman
eastbound
is
slowing
saying
by
that she-
17.
you did? Okay,
If you're
I'm looking
westbound,
at it.
84
Okay.
delays 22 to the Mixmaster in Waterbury. Heading into New Haven, southbound on the Parkway, you've got delays 60 down to 59. Northbound Parkway slowing between 58 and 59. And 95 South New Haven slows 46 down to exit 44. Traffic and weather together on the 8's WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
Making our way through tonight. We'll be looking at mostly cloudy skies, humid, widely separated thunderstorms, the low only down to 70. Then as we head into Thursday, cloudy, humid, couple of showers and a thunderstorm, the high of 81. Friday, humid, couple of showers and a thunderstorm again, mainly later, the high of 86. And Saturday, clouds, a couple of showers around, humid, the high of 87 for us as we head into the day on Saturday. Now, right now, it is 85 in Waterbury, 87 in Bristol, and it's 86 in Hartford. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
Want a career that's exciting and full of growth? Join Odyssey's Sales Associate Program. Get the training you need in advertising, marketing, and digital, and be a part of a team that's shaping the future of multimedia. Visit odysseyinc.com/careers and search Sales Associate under Farmington CT.
HartfordLatinoFest.com is celebrating its 10-year anniversary. Saturday, July 12th from noon until 7 at Duncan Park, downtown Hartford. This family event is free. You'll enjoy live Latin bands, local groups, Latin food, drinks, and much more. For info, call Luna at 860-983-5629 or go to HartfordLatinoFest.com. Latino Fest is proudly supported by Price Right, Hartford Yard Goats, Attorney Michael Chambers Jr., Hartford's Town and Clerk's Office, Liberty Bank, Kia of East Hartford, Connecticut, Greater Hartford Regional School Choice Office, and WTIC News Talk 1080.
Welcome everyone to West High School Spring Fling. Hey, where we at?
All right, I've gone through all the tracks. Just move through the beats. Do your thing.
All right, everyone, let's hear it for West High's own Brooke Turner, aka DJ Hook.
Scratching at my first school dance takes confidence. So getting into college, I've got what it takes. Okay, I went through the practice sessions. I slept good. I feel good.
We will now begin the test. Please take out your pencils.
I got this.
We're all good at something. Maybe it's breakdancing or skateboarding or video games. Whatever you're good at, you had the skills to make it happen. And those same skills will help us get to college. Visit knowhowtogo.org to learn what you should be doing right now to prepare for college. Start taking the go.org.
I've got what it takes. So do you.
Brought to you by the American Council on Education.
Why did I get rid of that?
And the Ad Council.
President of the Chris Murphy Fan Club, Reese on the Radio, on News Talk 1080, WTIC.
I'm getting all of these text messages. Okay, there it is. I finally did. Okay, by the way, we handled that young lady who was calling on the phone to deal with some stuff with WTIC.com. I'll forward that to whomever it needs to get handled. I didn't want to put her on blast like that. That's personal. Anyway, so I understand that there were phone calls about the hat and about T-shirts. Let me begin by saying, one, I'll do the T-shirt thing again. That's going to happen soon enough. But the hat that I'm wearing is triple nickel, is what it says on the shirt, on the hat. If you cannot read it, if those who are reviewing it online, triple nickel is some small brand, and of course it's veteran-based. As you know, my wife is a veteran. And, we're huge supporters, as I'm wearing my shirt, from Grunt Style. We're huge supporters in this family of our active, retired, and gone military. We're military. My family is military family. And, of course, Roseanne, being my wife, is also military. So we always kind of represent them. That's what the hat is, triple nickel. You can find that. I also heard that people are asking about my Reese on the Radio hat. That I wore the other day. I don't wear it all that often. This was a smaller, for those of you who are watching online, this was an earlier version of the hat with the R&R, one forward, one backward, with the microphone in the middle. It has always been my logo. But can I tell you a small story about that, if I could? It's you don't realize that you're doing something until you have an opportunity to see it. And I sort of I guess I really didn't pay attention to it until it happened. So it was immediately after the death of Rush Limbaugh that I was doing a show when I was doing my podcast. And I put up this picture of Rush Limbaugh behind me, and then I put up the EIB network logo behind me as well. And for some odd reason that day, as I was thinking about Rush Limbaugh and talking about how he influenced me in certain episodes or shows that I remember vividly, even some of the controversies he'd gone through, during the entire show, I kept looking at the EIB network. And I just kept saying to myself, oh, no, like, holy crap. Like, I didn't even realize it. I totally fashioned my logo, Reese on the Radio. I was inspired by the EIB network. Like, I didn't even realize it. And the whole, that's what it was. The EIB is just the E backwards and the I in the middle. And here I am. I got Reese on the Radio. The R is one's going forward, one's going backward, and a microphone in the middle. I wasn't even thinking about the EIB network when I did, but I feel like I have been watching Rush Limbaugh so long on the Ditto Cam that when I created my logo, there it was. I was like, wow, that had to be the inspiration. It's the only, it made sense. So it makes me love that logo. I've always loved the logo, but it makes me love it even more. So now every time I look at it, I think of Rush. And interestingly enough, it's an R. If I'm going to get corny, I guess I have to be. 860-522-WTIC. Dave's in Brantford. How are you, sir?
Yeah, I do all right. I don't think I'll have time, but I'll try to do three things. So I'm reading an NEA publication for the union members.
Let's go.
They're encouraging the teachers to download a poster and post it in their classroom.
Yep.
And one of them says, our voice, our power, growing our union together. And another one says, follow educators. We are the leaders. We have been waiting for you. Boy, if that doesn't sound like a groomer group.
Wow.
And I think it's probably legal, but it definitely offends my sensibility to put propaganda like this in a kid's classroom. Obviously encouraged by the union, who wants to grow their union.
Now stand by there, Dave, because you're right on cue. Ashley Crossan, who is now the NEA's Teacher of the Year. Here's a woman who's been a teacher for a considerably long time, but she gave a speech just the other day. Listen to what she said. I thought this was pretty alarming for a teacher to be saying.
I started paying attention once I realized how deeply political our profession had always been. I knew I could no longer stay on the sidelines. So I got involved, I found my people, and my people helped me find my voice.
What?
Well, Reese, that's why I brought it up, because you were promoting the NEA lady, and I didn't know what the angle was going to be.
Oh,
So
no,
I
you're
threw
right
that
on
in.
point.
The other thing, you were talking about conservatives, and do we always have to say the same thing in the same way?
Right.
For the law, and I'm thinking of the ICE agents who are in, with the covered faces so you can't tell, and there's no words on their black uniforms, and they've got unmarked cars.
Yeah.
And for a long time, I was thinking, remember when Amadou Diallo got shot in New York?
I do.
When the street interdiction unit, who were kind of greasy, beardo, scummy-looking people, so they looked like the general riffraff in the neighborhood.
That's right.
And their rattle-trap Chevrolets rolled up on him, trying to get in his apartment door, and said, come out with your hands up. And I can see, because this is what I would do, I would perceive you're a street gang getting ready to rob me.
Right.
And they said he reached into his pocket, which was for his kid, and it turned out to be his cell phone. And the cops said, we thought he was reaching for a gun. And they pumped him up with, 17 bullets?
It gets worse than that. The story gets worse than that, Dave. What they've never reported about that story is when he pulls out, that you said cell phone. It wasn't a cell phone. He pulled out his wallet. When he pulled out his wallet, one of the officers, a really, really very timid individual, actually thought it was a gun. He fired accidentally, which set off the other officers who thought they were being fired at to shoot him.
Yeah.
That's a story
What do
no
they
one
call
talks
that, a
about.
cascade?
Yeah, it's a cascade. That's exactly what
And
happened.
My point would be, I don't mind. You have to do undercover work, camouflage, but you cannot do takedowns incognito.
Right.
People need to believe that you are the police.
Right.
And if you want the protection of being an officer, you can't shoot me, you can't assault me. You have to be very, very particular about presenting as an officer. You can't at the last moment say, you can't punch me or knock me down and run away. I'm a cop. To which I'd say, well, I can't say it on the air.
No.
And I want to mention one more thing. Your complicated, the thing about Daiquat.
Yes.
I think that's awfully complicated, and I know George, whom I really like, George. He's fastidious and accurate, but he was talking about Pequot, Paraquat,
Paraquat,
which is not even close, not really the same stuff at all. And I think there's not enough discussion about the alternatives, one of which used to be copper sulfate that they would put in the lakes and bodies of water. If, it's copper sulfate pentahydrate, and another one called triclopyr. 3,5,6 trichloro, but the paraquat has got chlorine in it, and the dequat has got bromine in it. And the class of chemicals is somewhat different.
Right.
I think I'd want more comparison on what is bioaccumulative, how quickly it breaks down in your body and in the environment. And I don't know that we've had a lot of discussion. You have given enough time. It's a scholarly pursuit. So far, I'm sold on the harvesting the hydrilla. And take it out of the water with the bad nutrients. Reese, I'll end on this. We spend a fortune upgrading sewer plants to get the phosphorus and the nitrogen out of the water.
Good
There's
point.
There's almost no more cost-effective way to do it than to repeatedly harvest that hydrilla.
Oh, forgive
me. And
me.
it takes out all the nutrients. Thank you for letting me on.
You got it, boss man. I'm sorry about that.
Bye.
Hello.
You
Please
got it.
don't hang up the phone.
What?
This is
Sorry about that. That was ridiculous. That happens to me all the time. Every time I use that stupid device. Forgive me, man. Thank you. That's right. That's the office line that I have to use, but I get spam calls on it all the time. So forgive me for that. I got to make sure that that's never up again. I was trying to get some context about it, trying to find this company that was spraying in Hayward Lake, and I left this stupid app up.
Which is, in fact, in East Haddam. East Haddam.
East Haddam, that's right, in East Haddam. It is in East Haddam.
They changed the signs on the highway and everything.
They did they? Oh, okay. All right. Well, There you go. That's all I need to know. Let's go to Jim in Waterbury. How are you, Jim?
Good. How you doing? Yeah, you're talking about the blood in the streets. I watch Salem News. I get it for free on my television.
Uh-huh.
And Larry Elder and the gang, and they had a big article on that about 2 or 3 days ago, where the Democrats, the extreme Democrats, well, mostly the Democratic Party, are calling for blood in the streets.
Yeah.
So there are some outlets, but very few that talk about that, you know.
What do you think that, I mean, did you find it interesting, Jim, that this Axios article, coming from Democrats, from their own mouths, who, again, in sort of anonymously, they're saying that the overwhelming group of people who are calling for this violence appear to be affluent suburban white voters.
Oh, I believe it.
But
well, it's the
what do you
same
make
one
of it?
With that ambush on the Border Patrol and all. And they were all young kids, the whole 10 or 12 of them.
Yeah, but what do you make of the people who are calling for violence? I mean, these are people who maybe it's my assumption, and maybe unfairly so, but what do you make of the people who I would deem more pacifist? If you live in the suburbs, you're white, you're affluent, I don't see you as some sort of street brawler. Those people usually don't get by doing stuff like that. Do you?
Well, yeah, they call for it.
Yeah.
They wouldn't have the guts to do it.
That might be an answer to my question.
Go to, like Antifa. Antifa, they're anarchists.
Yeah.
I mean, they want to just destroy the government. They don't care what the government is.
Yeah. I think you're right. I think that's primarily what it is.
You can't negotiate with these people. The only thing you can do is fight these people.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think there's a middle ground to be had, a conversation to be had. These are the same bozos that when you disagree with them and you ask them questions, they'll hit you in the head with a bike chain. We've seen them. We've seen them in action.
There was a guy, a young man from Iran. He was 3 years trying to get to the United States. He finally got here, became a citizen, served in the military. He's in the gym with an I Like Trump shirt on. This old man comes up, poking him in the chest, saying, "You can't wear this in here." Yeah. He says, "I can wear this in here. I voted for Trump." And he says, "Well, what about the illegal aliens he's deporting in the military?" He says, "I was in the military for 4 years. They're not citizens. They broke into the country. They should be deported. Come here legally." And then he went on to say, "And you people waving your Mexican flags," he says, "leave my country." He says, I wave the Texas flag and the American flag. I don't wave the Iranian flag.
That guy is probably one of the biggest influencers today because of the video you described. I just watched a new video from him. I know the exact video you're talking about. My wife and I watched it a couple of weeks ago, and he is great. He is garnered quite the following from that video you just talked about in the gym. That's a great stuff.
Was good. He could have punched the old guy out, but then they would have arrested him.
But you know what? This is how it should be met. You know, I'm not suggesting that people always need to turn the other cheek. I'm saying that when you meet people with that, you address them with facts, you address them calmly, and if they get out of hand, then if necessary, you defend yourself. But you don't have to initiate that.
My cheek a long time ago. I mean, I'm a 78-year-old man. Somebody's not getting in my face.
I hear you, buddy. Thank you, Jim. You just have to, there's certain ways you got to deal with this stuff. Let me see if I can take Brian real quick. Brian, can I take you in a minute and a half, or do you need more time?
Probably need a little more time.
Okay, let me put you on hold. We'll deal with you on the other side of the break. Just stand by, and we'll get to you. Don't forget, stupidest thing I read today coming up in a minute. It's an extensive conversation about that, which Jim just brought up, about immigration, and a poll that came out just recently by Harry Enton at CNN. We'll talk about that. In fact, I should find there's another video on the same subject by Harry Enton that he did a couple of weeks ago. Maybe I'll find that video as well during our commercial break so I can compare and contrast that polling data. There's an article in Vox, V-O-X. It's a very liberal newspaper, journalism group, whatever it is. They have an article about immigration and deportations under Donald Trump. Why it's the stupidest thing I read today, I'll explain that when we come back, so don't go anywhere. Okay? We got all that, much, much more, and, of course, your phone calls, which are blazing right now. Blazing. All of them are full. Can we get more lines, Roland? Can we get more lines, like 10, instead of just a few? I don't know, whatever. Let's get to the weather and traffic with Jason Caterina and Mark Christophers in the BPS Traffic Center. Hey, Mark.
Hey, Reese, thanks a lot. Well, if you're heading into Hartford, southbound 91's losing a little speed in Windsor, 37 to 36. Again, 33 down to 32 A and B. Another bump down by exit 28. Northbound 91 looking good. Cromwell through Hartford up into Windsor. Westbound side of 84 slowing just after 56 Governor Street to 47. Sigourney 84 eastbound. Delays from 44 Prospect Oakwood into the tunnel. 2 eastbound's okay. Glastonbury to Marlboro. 291 through 84 okay. Both sides of 9 heavy approaching the Aragoni Bridge. 9 northbound in Berlin slowing 32 up to 36 in New Britain. If you are traveling on the westbound side of 84 in Southington, looks like we have an accident now, and that is going to be on the westbound side of I-84, and it looks like it's just west of exit 30, so look out for delays there as you move back to exit 31 in Southington behind that. If you're traveling into Waterbury, westbound 84 a little slow, 22 into the Mixmaster. Eastbound 84 is running slow between 16 and 17. Southbound Parkway, you've got delays 60 in Hamden down to just south of exit 59 in New Haven, an accident reported there. And on the northbound side of the Parkway, you've got slow traffic, 58 up to 59. South 95 New Haven slowing 48 down to 43 in West Haven. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
For this afternoon, quite warm and humid with a mix of clouds and sunshine, the high up to 87. Remaining warm and humid tonight, it'll be mostly cloudy. Some widely separated thunderstorms around, the low down to 70. For Thursday, cloudy, humid, couple of showers and a thunderstorm could lead to some ponding on streets and highways, the high of 81. Then Friday, it'll be warm and humid, couple of showers and a thunderstorm, mainly later in the day. After a cloudy start, a blend of sun and clouds in the afternoon, the high of 86. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
Follow WTIC News Talk 1080. Don't miss out on important updates in Connecticut. From breaking need-to-know news, weather alerts, and more. Follow WTIC News Talk 1080 on the Odyssey app now. And now, a WTIC News Update.
86 degrees, 4:30. I'm Dave Mager, WTIC 1080 News. Low about 70 with some thunderstorms tonight, high around 80 tomorrow. The verdict, not guilty on murder and lesser charges for 20-year-old Raul Valley. He was 16 when he stabbed 4 other teenagers at a Shelton house party in 2022. He claimed self-defense. Killed was 17-year-old Jimmy McGrath, a student at Fairfield Prep. After 3 days of deliberations and previously reporting they were deadlocked on the charge of murder, jurors issued their verdicts on that, plus intentional manslaughter and assault of the other teens.
Will the defendant, Raul Valley, please rise and face the jury? Do you find the defendant guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty.
Valley and his attorney did not comment as they left the courthouse. Jimmy McGrath's father, Kevin, did speak to reporters.
I'm astonished at the result. But, you know, it's due process. He's entitled to it. And at the end of the day, the jury made their verdict. I'm not sure, you know, if they're in the same courtroom as we all were together. But that's the verdict, and we'll live with it.
That audio from WFSB. The jury deadlocked on several other charges. A mistrial was declared on those. There's a potential primary challenger to Democratic Governor Ned Lamont. State Rep Josh Elliott of Hamden filed paperwork yesterday. Some progressives like Elliott consider Lamont too conservative on some issues, and they're concerned with recent vetoes. Lamont has yet to announce a run for a third term. A formal announcement from Elliott is coming Monday. Hospital officials say Israeli airstrikes killed at least 40 people in Gaza. President Trump is pushing for a ceasefire that might end the war and free dozens of Israeli hostages. On Wall Street, a big bucks milestone at NVIDIA.
NVIDIA became the first company to surpass a $4 trillion market valuation, continuing a stunning rise as the Silicon Valley chip maker grabbed the early mover advantage in artificial intelligence chips and has not looked back. NVIDIA first hit a $1 trillion market cap in May 2023, quickly hitting $2 trillion within 9 months and then $3 trillion in June 2024.
CBS's Jason Brooks reporting. The Dow closed up 218, S&P was plus 38, the NASDAQ was plus 193. Sports, Red Sox and Rockies on WTIC with the pregame at 6:10. Yankees host Seattle, Mets in Baltimore, Yard Goats at Portland. The Connecticut Sun beat Seattle 93-83. For more, check out WTIC.com. I'm Dave Mager, WTIC 1080 News.
Making sense of it all and having fun. That's how we would sum up our show. Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins. It's what happens when you take a Gen Xer, a millennial, and a baby boomer and give them a radio show.
We go through the news the same way you and your friends would, taking the serious stuff, seriously, while also laughing at the absurd.
Each one of us brings a unique perspective to the news of the day, closing the generation gap in a way no other talk show can. Hear Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins weeknights 6 until 9 on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Need good tech advice?
Must be a computer error.
Tune into the Gold.com award-winning Computer Talk with Tab. Saturday mornings 9 to 11 on WTIC News Talk 1080.
God, I love technology.
Eric Semmel and Dennis Howland of Tab Computer Systems will keep you updated with tech news you can use and answer your technology questions live on the air. Miss a program? Be sure to subscribe to the podcast and tune in from anywhere via the Odyssey app. Computer Talk with Tab. Saturday mornings on WTIC News Talk 1080.
I'm Silas. Kidney disease is devastating the Black community. We're more likely to have diabetes and high blood pressure, the leading causes of kidney disease.
I have diabetes.
I have high blood pressure. And we're more likely to have kidney failure.
My mom is on dialysis.
Black people are 4 times more likely to be on dialysis, yet we're less likely than other groups to get a kidney transplant. As Dr. Silas Norman, a kidney transplant physician, I can tell you that 90% of people with kidney disease don't know they have it. And every day, about 12 people die waiting for a kidney transplant. But kidney failure is often preventable. Talk to your doctor about your risk for kidney disease. Insist on getting your kidneys checked regularly, especially diabetes or high blood pressure.
We're the American Kidney Fund. We believe in kidney health for all. Visit
I started paying
kidneyhealthforall.org.
attention
That's kidneyhealthforall.org.
once I realized how deeply political our
locked
profession
in.
had always been.
Reese on the Radio is on WTIC News Talk 1080.
We're back. No matter how hard I try, I still can't get it right. I still can't. I screw it up every time. It's Reese on the Radio, WTIC News Talk 1080. We're going to take your phone calls in a second. Let me just read you what the story is so that you know. It's the stupidest thing I read today.
Yes, you do. Stupid as can be. This could very well be the stupidest person on the face of the earth.
So according to the publication Vox, they have a headline that says, Trump is deporting way fewer people than Obama did. Again, Trump is deporting way fewer people than Obama did. Vox is not a conservative outlet. Vox is all the way to the left. Vox loves Obama. The article is written in a way to suggest that Donald Trump is dropping the ball. Hey, you MAGA folks, you think he's deporting all these people. He's not doing what he says he's doing at all. You're being duped. Now think about that. I want you to think about that. I know what's going on through your head. I don't need to tell you this. I don't need to lead you to the water on this one. You're saying the same thing I'm saying. What? Wait a minute. What the hell is all the hubbub about then? What's all the screaming about the Gestapo? What's all that about? What if it's a protest? We got 10 people who were charged with attempted murder in Texas. What do you mean he's deporting fewer people than Obama did? How is this helping Democrats' cause by saying that Donald Trump isn't the Führer? Yeah, if that's rattling your brain for a little bit, that's okay. That's the whole point. That is the entire point. That's all you need to know. And they're saying it everywhere. He's not deporting the people that he says he is. He's barely deporting the people that he's deporting. Obama deported more people than him. Like they're bragging about it. So ask yourself the question, why the Axios article that says that there needs to be more blood, that they need to be storming more ICE facilities? What for? He's barely scratching the surface. Right? We'll talk about it some more when we return. I'll tell you why they're really outraged. I'll break it all down for you. Don't move. Let's get some weather and traffic with Jason Caterina and Mark Christopher in the BPS Traffic Center. Hey, Mark.
Hey, Reese, thank you very much. Well, we have an accident out in Southington right now. Looks like it's westbound 84, right around exit 29 in Southington. Looks like the extreme left lane, the exit-only lane's blocked, and the right lane's blocked there. And right now, looks like delays are kicking back now toward exit 31 in Southington behind that. So stay middle of the highway to get through that a little bit easier. Now, if you're on the eastbound side of 84, delays about a half mile before 46th Avenue to the Bulkley. Westbound 84 is tied up East Hartford, approaching the Bulkley Bridge out to 47 Sigourney. 91 southbound delays 33 down to 32, again down by exit 28 on the Hartford-Weathersfield line. 291 through 84, okay, 2 westbound's a little tight. 1D up to the 84 West merge in East Hartford. Both sides of 9 heavy, approaching the Aragoni Bridge in Middletown. If you're heading toward Waterbury, a little slow, 84 westbound, 22 to the Mixmaster. 84 eastbound in Southbury, looks like some slow traffic. Could have an accident between 16 and 17 on the eastbound side of 84. If you are heading down toward New Haven, southbound on the Wilbur Cross Parkway, look for delays from exit 62 down into the West Rock Tunnel. Northbound on the Parkway, looks slow between 58 and 59. We had an accident northbound by 59. That might have cleared, but it is still heavy through there. South 95 is tied up in New Haven, 46 down to 43 in West Haven. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
All right, mainly cloudy tonight, humid, some widely separated thunderstorms. Warm, too, the low only down to 70. Cloudy and humid on Thursday, couple of showers and a thunderstorm, the high 81. Friday, humid, couple of showers and a thunderstorm, mainly later in the day, the high of 86. Saturday, clouds and sun, couple of showers, the high 87. And Sunday, sunny to partly cloudy, warm and humid with the high of 85. Right now, 84 in Waterbury, 88 Danbury, 86 in Hartford. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
Dreaming of a perfect smile? At Columbia Dental, our orthodontic experts specialize in braces and clear aligners like Invisalign. Get the smile you've always dreamed of. Open 7 days a week. Call 860-645-0111 or visit columbiadental.com.
Having options tastes better with McDonald's. Choose between a $5 hot and spicy McChicken meal deal with a $6 McDouble meal deal. Price and participation may vary.
Join us for the first annual Go Tacos Tequila and Taps Festival at Duncan Park, July 24th through the 26th. Presented by the Hartford Yard Goats. Enjoy live bands, more than 20 brands of tequila, and dozens of craft beers, wines, and spirits. For ticket info, visit GoTacosTequilaTaps.com.
Did you ever come home on a hot day, open your door, and your air conditioner just doesn't feel right? That's a real summer bummer. Say, come on into Campbell. From a simple seasonal tune-up or an air conditioner repair to the installation of a much more cost-efficient cooling system, Campbell's got the cool tools. Veteran-owned and managed, Campbell Heating and Cooling. Visit CampbellCooling.com.
Campbell Cooling uses all major name brands, including American Standard and Mitsubishi heating and cooling equipment. Let our expert technicians cool your home this summer.
Hey, it's Matt, your leaf filter trusted pro. Gutters are an often neglected part of the home. They're also one of the most important. Clogged, overflowing gutters can cause serious problems like foundation damage or basement flooding, which can cost thousands of dollars to fix. Let's face it, cleaning gutters yourself is not only a hassle, it can be dangerous. But when you get Leaf Filter, you'll never have to worry about cleaning clogged gutters again. Get started today by visiting leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free inspection. If you decide to move forward, we'll professionally clean, realign, and seal your gutters before installing our patented stainless steel micro mesh system. Leaf Filter keeps out everything but the water. And it's backed by a lifetime transferable no clogs warranty. So you're protected for good. We're in your neighborhood and ready to help. Visit Filter today for a free inspection and estimate, and you could save up to 30%. Visit leaffilter.com/deal. That's leaffilter.com/deal.
The self-proclaimed love child of Rush Limbaugh.
They're running a strange program, y'all.
Reese on the radio on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
Let's get to your phone calls. We are so deep into the show. It's time to get to you. Let's go back to Brian in Bristol. How are you doing, sir?
Doing all right. I have a success to share with you about this invasive weed we're talking about.
Oh, the hydrilla?
Yeah, hydrilla. I'm a volunteer at a private camp, and one of the other volunteers worked for a water company. Years ago, he had his, I'll call it reservoir team come in, biologists, oceanographers, that whole deal.
Okay.
They recommended the simplest thing going. They recommended we put some carp in our lake. And I will tell you, we used to do the copper sulfate thing, as Dave said, all that kind of stuff. We no longer have to do that. The carp work 24 hours, a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, cleaning that stuff up. We used to drag this stuff up on the beach and pile it, big heaps. You'd look like a creature from the Black Lagoon if you swam stuff
right.
to you. Now, there's almost, you can't find the stuff in the lake. So a simple solution that they recommended for that size lake was just putting carp in it. It was really that simple. It's the most natural solution.
Brian, help me out here, because this is important to note. You're telling me that oceanographers, and by the way, I envy those guys.
Biologists, yep.
Biologists, marine biologists, oceanographers, which, by the way, I have a very, very great sort of esteem for the guys who are oceanographers. I went to Beach Channel High School in Rockaway Beach. Yep. And they had an oceanography room that used to go out 30 feet into the Jamaica Bay until some kids shot it up, and then they couldn't use it anymore, but that's another story. But I would love to talk to one of these individuals. Is there a way that you, have some contact with them, and maybe they can, one, get in touch with us so we can get, the legislature to listen to these guys so we can see some alternatives? Because that's all I want to do. I want to flood the zone with eco-friendly ideas.
Yeah, I'll reach out to my friend that works for the water company, and then I'll see if I can give you that contact, or if he'll reach out to you.
Here's what I want.
Basically, he had what he called his reservoir team come in, and they overlook all the reservoirs. Obviously, they want clean drinking water without this in it as well. So they did an analysis. This is probably 15 years ago or so. So the success has been a long time going now.
Brian, stay on the line. Is it okay if I put you on hold and Roland gets your telephone number, and then I'll call you privately?
Yeah.
Okay.
We already have his phone.
You do?
Yeah.
Oh, we do have his number. Okay, fine. No problem. Roland send it to me again so I make sure I have it. Oh, is that the number that's on the screen? I didn't see that. I wasn't looking. Okay. Take his number from there. Brian, I will give you a call personally later on today, okay?
All right.
Thank you, Brian. Much appreciated, man. This is, look, I got to tell you, folks, this is, whether you believe it or not, I'm telling you, I'm not kidding. Truth be told, this is the reason why I love radio. It's a whole bunch of reasons why I like it, but that in particular, if I were to point it out, that's it right there. That everything about that was perfect. Everything about that, for me, that was perfect, because I know all you have to do is just shout to the rafters, and somebody out there is listening, and somebody says, "Oh man, come on! I don't." That's the reason why we got White Mike. When he found out it was hydrilla, I mean, he was literally in the chat room going, "You're talking about hydrilla?" He was overexcited. Sure enough, we wouldn't be here without those people listening. That's the reason why. I appreciate you more than you know. Because you educate me as well as I entertain you. So I got to learn every day. And that's the beauty of this. So forgive me if I go off the beaten path. I'm sorry. But that's, again, it's just one of those moments where I just have to point out why I love this medium. Let's go to Chip in Coventry. Hello, Chip.
Reese, my main man, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. What's up, buddy?
I was listening to you, I think, not too long before the break, and I'm like, wow, he loved the blood pressure. I'm going to come over and give him some anxiety medication.
Sometimes I can get a little animated. I can get a little animated.
No, I'm just kidding with you.
No, it's okay.
Okay, listen, again, all kidding aside, again, in the last 4 years, and I think I told you, I'm really learning and getting into politics, keeping an open mind. I now consider myself and have a Republican. Okay, maybe / independent. But as far as these gangs go, and some of the Democrats, advocating, I think, what is it, L.A., like, hey, why don't you round up your posse? And we're going to, regarding the ICE, and maybe, and I'm thinking, remember what Biden, when he made that comment, he said something in regards, put a target on Trump, something like that.
Yes.
Remember that?
Yep.
And I'm thinking, here's the leader here's our president at the time. And then, we all know 2 days later, he was almost assassinated. And I'm thinking, and some of the Democrats are happy about that. Now, and I'll end on this one. I know you're very busy. When I'm watching these videos of ICE rounding up the illegal, dangerous criminals, and I was watching one last night. The one thing that I'm kind of like not agreeing with the violence is, I think I know why they're wearing masks, and I'm thinking, and a lot of people are getting their cell phones out. What's the matter? You can't show yourself.
Sure.
And I'm thinking, okay, they're doing it because, tell me, in your opinion, well, they want to hide their identity in case some of these anti-ICE people want to retaliate.
Yes.
Right? I don't know.
No, you're 100% right.
But and I'm not siding. I'm not siding with ICE because let's just say we're not going to wear masks. We're ICE. We're doing our job. I mean, what do they expect when they go after 110% an illegal, dangerous immigrant? And some of them are, they're rough. They're tough.
Look, I'll put it to you this way.
That.
Listen, when you know that Los Angeles in particular has an alert system that the mayor of Los Angeles is also a part of. She's on the chain. So now I want you to think about this. The mayor of Los Angeles is a part of a text chain, an alert chain, that alerts citizens in an area when they spot ICE coming into a town. And the mayor, openly caught on camera saying they went into red alert and immediately gathered to the spot where ICE showed up. So if you imagine an alert system that is there to put a wedge between ICE and the illegal, you don't know what the intent of those people who are getting the alert are there to do. If they are pushing back against them, showing up with weapons, showing up with the intent to fight ICE or to physically assault them, you don't know, because everybody who's getting the alert are random individuals. You don't know if they're pure of heart or whether or not they are there to actually inflict harm. So if I'm an ICE agent and I know that these people have an alert system that the mayor is endorsing and that news networks are endorsing, I would cover up my face too, because we know that people are actively, and by the way, I haven't even mentioned that part. A lot of these people are associated with cartels and gangs who wish to intimidate some of the individuals. And then there's the other added bonus to it that I will add, Chip. 40%, 40, that's almost half, of the ICE agents are of Hispanic descent, which means more than likely, that's right, more than likely, someone knows who they are, and if you're in a gang or a cartel or you wish to do somebody else harm, they are probably ICE agents who are in the communities of people who wish to do them harm. If they are doxxed, their families are in danger. I'd be in a mask in a heartbeat, especially if I'm doing that kind of dangerous work.
Yeah.
So
I guess, what's her name? Mayor Bass, right?
Yep,
Bass?
Mayor Karen Bass.
I think she sounds like she may be in the Bloods of the Crips. I don't know. Maybe she's.
Don't even get me started. A lot of those folks who are politicians out there, as you can already attest, that some of them either have some relationships with or who have made sort of suggestions to individuals in those areas to either not commit violence And I've seen that over and over again, begging people in those communities to say, hey, can we not have violence in and around here? So, yeah, you never know. Chip, thank you, man. I appreciate you. Before we go to a break, I want to make sure that this is completely understood. That what you're seeing, this outrage, again, with the Vox article that says Trump is deporting fewer people than Obama did. By the way, go to my Facebook page. You'll see the article there. I posted it there the other day, yesterday. In fact, you can go there and read it yourself. The idea is to say that, look, Trump's not really even doing anything. He's barely even scratching the surface. Obama deported more people than him. Let me explain to you why that is, why they are flipping out, and why there is this groundswell of pushback. This was Harry Enton from CNN in June. Harry Enton, CNN in June, their data guru, as he's referred to.
The government trying to deport all 11 million of them. Back in 2016, just 38% of voters wanted the government to try to deport all 11 million undocumented immigrants. Compared to where we are in 2025, 56%, the majority. The American people have come a long way on this issue, much closer to Donald Trump, and I think that's a big part of the reason why Americans are increasingly saying the country is on the right track when it comes to immigration policy, and why Donald Trump's net approval rating on that issue is in the positive.
Again, 56% of Americans want all immigrants deported. All of them, all illegals deported. That was in June. We are, a month later? Here's Harry Enton, same subject, on CNN.
Deported all immigrants who are here illegally, 55% of the New York Times. Marquette, 64%. CBS News, 57%. ABC News with a slightly different question, 56%. So what you're seeing essentially here is a very clear indication that a majority of Americans, in fact, when they're asked this blunt question, which I believe gets at the underlying feelings, do in fact want to deport.
I think the response to that should be mayhem. Mayhem. Let's bully them into changing their view. You know what? It's not worth it. It's not worth all the violence, man. Let them stay. Why are we doing this? Somebody's going to get hurt. You know what? No. Let them stay. No, don't. That's what this is. This is always what it's about. What did you think George Floyd was about? Those riots. What did you think Michael Brown riots were about? What do you think the Trayvon Martin riots were about? None for Tamir Rice, unfortunately. Probably too cold in Cincinnati. But the bottom line is, what are all of those riots about? What is the burning down of establishments all about? What's Seattle, Portland? What are they all about? It's about intimidation. You see all the carnage, and you say, no, I don't want anybody to get hurt to this. Why? Is this about my position on immigration? No, you know what? No, let him stay. It's all right. Trump, stop. No, we don't want him deported anymore. It's going to cause too much harm. That's what this is about. Of course, Vox is saying that statistically Donald Trump is barely putting a dent in it. Of course he is. Under the Obama administration, was there any pushback? Was there anybody standing in his way when he was deporting people? Was Vox really mentioning the fact that Barack Obama was deporting more people because he was considering people who were turned away at the border a deportation? No. In fact, in the article, it doesn't even mention it. That's the reason why he was called the deporter-in-chief. The reason why he was up in the ante. He was fudging the numbers. You think this is an opportunity for people to be angry at Barack Obama? You would have asked them that today. It's like, hey, Barack Obama deported far more people than Donald Trump ever did. Would people care? I wasn't paying attention to it then. But Trump's doing it for a far different reason. He's a racist. Barack Obama was doing it because, he saw some problems with it. Nothing, I'm sorry. Some of this stuff is laughable, even when it comes out of my mouth. But that's what it's about. The polling data hurts. All of this is an intimidation tactic. And they're going to try to bully you into doing it. I'm sorry, folks, but what's the definition of using violence to push a political? It's fascism. That's what they do. That's why these people are attacking them. It's like, please stop. You're going to hurt somebody. We'll change our position. It isn't worth it. That's all I'm saying. I could be wrong, but I doubt it. Let's get another check of weather and traffic. We got Jason Caterina with weather and Mark Christopher, diligent traffic reporter here in the BPS Traffic Center. Hello.
Hey, Reese, thank you very much. Well, if you're heading toward Southington right now, we have a crashed westbound 84 at exit 29. It's blocking the exit-only lane on the left side, and it's also blocking the extreme right lane. So stay in the center of the highway. You've got delays approaching 32 Queen Street behind that. If you're traveling on the eastbound side of 84, delays about a half mile before 46th and Avenue to the Bulkley. Westbound 84 slows in East Hartford, approaching the Bulkley Bridge to 47 Sigourney Street. 91 southbound's a little slow, getting by 36 in Windsor. Again, 33 down to 32 IMB. More slow traffic, 27 down to exit 28 on the Hartford Weathersfield line. Northbound 91's a little slow by exit 23 in Rocky Hill. After that, good ride Hartford up into Windsor. 291, 384 moving well. 2 westbound's tied up 1D up to the 84 West Merch. If you're traveling Route 2 eastbound in East Hartford, you got some slow traffic by exit 3. If you're heading into Middletown, both sides of 9 heavy approaching the Aragoni Bridge. If you're on the eastbound side of 84, a little slow traffic moving by exit 16 in Southbury. Heading toward New Haven, southbound on the Parkway, sluggish 61 into the West Rock Tunnel. 95 southbound delays 46 to 43 in West Haven. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
Mostly cloudy, warm, and humid tonight with some widely separated thunderstorms. The low only down to 70. Cloudy, warm, and humid on our Thursday. Couple of showers and a thunderstorm around could lead to some ponding on the streets and highways. The high of 81. A thunderstorm in spots Thursday evening. Otherwise, mostly cloudy and humid. The low down to 69. It'll be warm and humid Friday with a couple of showers and a thunderstorm, mainly later in the day. A cloudy start, then a blend of sun and clouds for the afternoon, the high of 86. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
WTIC is celebrating 100 years on the air and 100 years of serving Connecticut. This is WTIC and WTIC FM HD2 Hartford and Odyssey Station.
86 degrees, 5 o'clock. I'm Dave Mager, WTIC 1080 News. Low about 70 with some thunderstorms tonight. Declared not guilty on murder and lesser charges, 20-year-old Raul Valley. He was 16 when he stabbed 4 other teens at a Shelton house party in 2022. He claims self-defense. Killed was 17-year-old Jimmy McGrath, a student at Fairfield Prep. The verdicts, not guilty on murder and intentional manslaughter in the case of McGrath. Not guilty of intentional assault in the stabbings of Ryan Hines, Tommy Connery, and Faison Teal, all Shelton High School students at the time. Jimmy McGrath's father, Kevin, says he's stunned and shocked.
I'm not sure, if they're in the same courtroom as we all were together, but that's the verdict, and we'll live with it.
That audio from WFSB. Valley and his attorney did not comment as they left the courthouse. The jury deadlocked on several other charges, including reckless manslaughter. A mistrial was declared on those. There's a potential primary opponent for Governor Lamont. WTIC's Morgan Cunningham reports.
Connecticut State Representative Josh Elliott of Hamden has filed paperwork with the State Elections Enforcement Commission to run for governor in 2026. Elliott has not made any public statement about his intentions, but the paperwork was received and processed Tuesday morning. It comes as several Connecticut Democrats have been critical of Governor Lamont's leadership recently, particularly on his vetoes on bills addressing housing and benefits for striking workers. Elliott has been vocal in supporting progressive tax and criminal justice reforms in the state. This sets up a potential Democratic primary challenge for Governor Lamont, who has not yet announced whether he'll be seeking a third term, but has said that he's thinking about it. Morgan Cunningham, WTIC 1080 News.
An official announcement from Elliott will come Monday. The death toll in the Texas floods is at 119 with more than 170 missing. Crews are using heavy equipment to clear debris while also inspecting that debris for human remains. This is Captain Jason Walder.
We have spotters on the ground So as this material is being removed, we are looking for anything of a sign of a person that may be within this material.
Meantime, individuals with debris piles are being asked not to take them apart with machines until they've been checked by search parties. Russia is intensifying its attacks on Ukraine. More than 700 drones fired, the most in the war so far. The attacks come after President Trump offered a rare criticism yesterday of Russian leader Vladimir Putin.
The president's frustration stems from Putin's seeming disinterest in ending the war he started in 2022. In fact, the Russians have been stepping up attacks on civilian targets in Kyiv, even as the White House tries to broker a ceasefire. Trump now says he might even support a tough new sanctions bill gaining steam in the Senate. It would impose steep taxes on countries that import Russian oil and gas.
CBS's Nancy Cordes reporting. The president now lashing out at Brazil. He's setting tariffs at 50% for the country. Those are import sales taxes to be paid by American taxpayers. He calls the prosecution of disgraced former President Jair Bolsonaro a witch hunt. On Wall Street, the Dow was up 218, S&P climbed 38, the NASDAQ was up 192. Sports, Red Sox and Rockies next hour on WTIC. The pregame starts at 6:10. Yankees host Seattle again, the Mets in Baltimore, Yard Goats at Portland. At Wimbledon, the quarterfinals, top seed Jannik Sinner beats American Ben Shelton in straight sets. Novak Djokovic also a winner. On the women's side, Iga Swiatek and Belinda Bencic advance to the semis. For more, check out WTIC.com. I'm Dave Maker, WTIC 1080 News.
Low testosterone affects many men today, even when is 30. But finding someone you can trust for quality low-T treatment isn't so easy. This is Dale for Northeast Men's Health, a Promedic restorative health practice. And that's why I'm pleased to announce the opening of our newest location of Northeast Men's Health right here in Warwick. As a Promedic affiliate, Northeast Men's Health has the experience and expertise to get you the right treatment for your particular medical situation. At Northeast Men's Health, we're experts in treating low testosterone. In fact, we've successfully treated thousands of men for low T and have seen the amazing impacts low T treatments have. If you're like most men, you'll sleep better, have more energy and improved mental clarity, get better gains in the gym, and your sex drive will likely improve as well. So call us. Just $99 gets you a PSA and T test and a medical consult. And if you start on testosterone the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 800-930-5956. That's 800-930-5956. Or go to northeastmenshealth.com. We have 6 offices across the Northeast to serve you.
The hour that packs a punch. It's Reese on the radio on WTIC News Talk 1080.
So I went on the little app that you can download called Grok. You know, it got a little bit of, hey, early this morning, there was a story about it that had some very unfortunate stuff talking about Hitler. When I read that, I was like, oh, whoa, that's crazy. There were some headlines about it. You can find it online if you want to. But anyway, so I use it a little bit. I kind of like it. It's actually pretty good. It actually sources material that you're looking for. They even have one that sort of you can communicate with. My wife and I were using it last night. And we were, talking to it, and it's very conversational. Like, it talks to you like it's a person. It's unlike, the Google or the Amazon, not Amazon, what's the Alexa. It's a little different than that. If you're interested, check it out. I'm not endorsing it. I'm just telling you that it's there. Anyway, so I did. I wrote, can carp be used to remove hydrilla? It says, yes. Carp, specifically triploid sterile grass carp, can be used to control hydrilla, an invasive aquatic weed. Grass carp are herbivorous fish that readily consume hydrilla, which is one of their preferred foods. They are widely used as biological control method in ponds, lakes, and reservoirs across the United States. They are key points. Here are key points about using grass carp for hydrilla removal. Effectiveness. Grass carp can significantly reduce hydrilla populations by grazing on the plant. They are most effective for long-term control. Though they may not eradicate hydrilla completely, especially in heavily infested waters or where underground tubers persist. Stocking rates typically range from 7 to 15 fish per surface acre, depending on the infestation severity and water body conditions. So here it is. Grass carp can be used. We haven't heard anything about it. Perhaps we should. I'll talk to Jeff Cordisco over at C&D Underwater Management about it later on today. And we'll call Brian as well. Let's take a break. Let's get some weather and traffic in you. Jason Caterina's got weather, and Mark Christopher is in the BPS Traffic Center. Hey, Mark.
Hey, Reese, thank you very much. Well, if you're heading westbound 84, look for delays now approaching the Bulkley Bridge out to 45 Flatbush Avenue. 84 eastbound slows about a half mile before 46th Avenue to the Bulkley Bridge. Southbound 91, you got some slow traffic now from 33 down to 32A and B. And it's pretty heavy right down to exit 28 on the Hartford-Wethersfield line. We had a heavy shower move through over the last few minutes, so that's what's slowing that down. That should start to pick up now with the shower moving east. If you are traveling northbound 91, that's moving well. Cromwell through downtown up into Windsor. 291, 384, okay. 2 eastbounds heavy off I-84 out to exit 4A in Glastonbury. Westbound side of it, Route 2 slow 1D up to the 84 West merge. Middletown, both sides of 9 heavy approaching the Aragoni Bridge. 9 northbound, some slow traffic up by 34 in New Britain. Heading over into Southington, 84 westbound, you got delays from 32 up to exit 31. The earlier accident westbound 84 at exit 29 has been cleared. If you are traveling 84 eastbound into Waterbury, slowing by 17, heading down in toward New Haven. Southbound Parkway delays 60 into the West Rock Tunnel. And 91 southbound, you've got slow traffic from exit 4 down in toward the 95 interchange. South 95 New Haven slowing from 46 to 43 in West Haven. Traffic and weather together on the 8's WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
Hey, Mark, stay in your lane. Weather's my gig. Listen, indeed, we've had a heavy shower pick up and make its way off to the east, just south of Manchester and heading toward Rocky Hill right now. So if you are headed eastbound or south out of Hartford, you will run into some very heavy rainfall here shortly. So heading through tonight, mostly cloudy and humid, some widely separated thunderstorms, the low down to 70. A cloudy and humid couple of showers and a thunderstorm on Thursday, the high of 81. Friday, humid couple of showers and a thunderstorm again, mainly later, the high of 86. As we head through tonight, or right now, rather, Waterbury at 86, 88 Danbury, 88 in New Haven, and 84 in Hartford. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
Are you looking to hire? ZipRecruiter finds the best candidate for your job fast. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
New grad? Want a career that's exciting and full of growth? Join Odyssey's Sales Associate program. Get the training you need in advertising, marketing, and digital, and be a part of a team that's shaping the future of multimedia. Visit OdysseyInc.com/careers and search Sales Associate under Farmington CT.
Hey, it's Matt Soroyce, and I know with the temperatures heating up, sometimes wearing that extra layer of clothing isn't exactly summer friendly, but we may be trying to cover up those pesky extra pounds from the holiday season. Wouldn't it be better to feel comfortable in just a single layer while you're having fun in the sun? Well, Awaken 180 Weight Loss can help you get to whatever goal you have in mind. Maybe you have low energy, joint or muscle pain, and all you want to do is go for a hike or a swim, a few laps, without feeling like you're so winded. Awaken 180 Weight Loss can get you there too. With Awaken's one-on-one coaching from the amazing counselors, they will walk you through every step to get you to your goal weight. Awaken 180 Weight Loss is the long-term solution for weight loss. They've helped over 25,000 people lose the weight and lose the weight for good. Just imagine where you could be by Labor Day if you just give them a call today. So come on, let's make this summer the one where we feel our best. Set up your free consultation today at 844-346-1800 or visit them online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Life insurance. Why are you putting... Afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime. we're not here to be the biggest. We're here to bring you something we believe is better. Our plans start at just $20. You'll get the same nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/facts or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Reese on the Radio is getting ready to drop some knowledge on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Yeah, by the way, if you guys want me to if you want me to sell the hat, I can. If you're interested in it, let me know. But it's a novelty thing for me. It's self-indulgent. I love the logo. I love wearing the hat with the logo. People often ask me about it. Say, hey, what's that stand for? It's like, for my podcast. It's like a face tattoo. And I say that self-deprecating and all. It's like it's the most. How do I put it? Vain I could be is when I wear the Reese on the Radio hat. It's about the most vain I could possibly be. So that's the reason why I wear it. So I hope people, like I said, if you want one, let me know. I'll see if I can, muster it. I'll muster up a price or something like that. White Mike is on the line. He's been incredibly helpful on all of this. Mike, did you know about this grass carp? Are you familiar with that? You seem to be pretty.
Introducing a non-native species to an ecosystem never works out for the positive ever.
Well, wait a minute. Hold on. It's not. No. I looked this up. It's so great. I'm glad you said it. I don't believe that you should use a non-native, but I actually did look up the usage of it with hydrilla. I just did. And it turns out that carps are in 45 states. There are only 5 states where they don't want it there. And it's primarily saying lakes and ponds, not rivers.
Well, okay, fine. Lakes and ponds probably, but it's always it's gonna compete with something, and carp get big.
That's true.
There's a problem in a lot of rivers with these carp that jump out of the river and hit people when they're driving their boats. You've seen those, right?
Oh no, is that? I've never seen that at all. Is that really? They jump out of the water?
It's all over the Midwest. There's like these crazy carp that are an invasive species that kind of were dumped there by, I think they're like Asian food source or something that somebody dumped in the river, and now they breed like crazy and they outcompete native fish for food. Mm-hmm. No, dude, you don't mess with that. If they're supposed to be there, they'll be there. The only way to deal with hydrilla is to physically remove it. You got to do that. You can't be bringing in fish and all that stuff. That's just more people who think they have the answer when Florida's shown you the answer.
Yeah,
County's shown you.
Yeah, Craig is in the chat room. He said those are usually Asian carp that you're talking about.
Yeah, but a carp is a carp. Oh, do you know? By the way, do you know what they've done to monetize the Asian carp in these rivers?
No.
Because people hate carp. They're like, people in other parts of the world eat carp, but Americans don't like carp because carp's a bony fish.
Okay.
So they take these carp and they grind them up and make them into gefilte fish.
Oh, I did not know that.
Gefilte only has to be white fish.
Right.
It has to be white flesh fish that's a kosher fish, and carp is a kosher fish, whereas a catfish is not.
Ah.
So they use Asian carp in gefilte fish. Oh. Anyway, let's talk about something funny.
Yes.
So surprisingly, I tend to get into arguments online with people.
No kidding.
And sometimes those folks are African American, shockingly.
Uh-huh.
And I have the best argument ender when having a conversation with an obnoxious black person. You want to hear it?
Okay, just remember the license, okay?
you ask them, "How's your dad?"
Oh, come on, man.
And that ends it right there. They never have a comeback. It's over.
Why?
How's your dad?
You're just wrong. You're just wrong. You don't call me to do that. But mine passed away when I was 16, but that's just mean. That's just mean. Why do you have to be mean? Why do you? I mean, there are low blows, but that one is absolutely low. It's just low.
Is it funny? Is it funny?
I'm not gonna lie, it's funny, but it is low.
Is it statistically pretty accurate?
Yes, it's low. You're taking advantage of a statistic that is very, very difficult for people to bear with. But you know what?
Anyway,
I'm not. Look, I believe in. Listen, I'm a jugular puncher. When people I always say, the Chicago way, right? They pull the knife, you pull the gun. I get that whole thing. So yes, I'm with you on that whole deal. If they punch below the belt, you're only asking for it, and if that's what it is that works, it does. I'm just saying it's mean. That's all.
So we had this black lady come in the office today, and for some reason, dude, my whole life, black people have liked me. I don't get it because I'm as white as it gets. But black people have loved the crap out of me since I was a little kid.
Yes.
Like I've been to cookouts. I went to see Parliament Funkadelic and got handed joints by dudes look like Billy D. Williams. So I have the thing. It's a pheromone or something. I don't know.
Okay.
So this black lady came in today, and she's really black. She was like Southern, like, black, like straight up,
She meets
like
all the stereotypes?
Pretty much.
Okay.
And dude, she thought I was the funniest person she's ever met. Asked me out, by the way.
Really?
She's like, "Are you single?" I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "Oh, you want to go out?" I'm like, "Nah, that's cool." Like, no, thank you. But she went up front. She was like, "You know my name. I won't say my name on the radio, but you know my name,
right?"
And my name is, the connotation.
Yes.
Every black woman I've met in my life calls me by my first and last name in one word.
Really? Oh, you know what? That's because it's an iconic name, and we won't repeat it here. It's an iconic name. Yeah. It's part of folklore. Beyond that, it's actually pop culture lore, and that's the reason why. But it is. What's another one that actually sort of like? Oh, it's like saying Dave Chappelle. It's like one word. It's not two names.
Yeah, I'll do the beat. They don't call me, ba ba ba. It's ba ba ba.
Yeah.
Oh, ba ba ba, you so funny. Oh, ba ba ba, you hilarious.
Yeah, they say it like it's one name.
Like that boy hilarious. I love him. He great. And they're just looking at me. All these white people I work with, they're like, why do all these black people like you? I'm like, dude, I don't freaking know.
I'm telling you, I'll be honest with you. I think it's the same reason why I was immediately interested in you. One, it was your unapologetic realness and honesty. Even if it was uncomfortable, there was something about that that's attractive. I'm telling you, people like real people who are honest, even if they disagree. They like people who just say what they say and believe what they believe, and they're not doing it for shock value. This is an authentic individual, and authenticity works, man. I just think that's the attraction. People have been introduced to you here in Connecticut who always, some way, sort of reference you off the air or something that you say. You have become sort of an adjective. In a weird way.
It's hilarious, dude. Like, if I was into sisters, I would score nonstop.
Yes, you would.
And I'm not saying I'm not open, but they got to have like better texture hair. Like, even Candace Owens wouldn't fly for me. Like,
really?
Remember Cree Summers?
Yes,
Cree
you like
Summers,
that kind of hair.
All day, bro. All day.
Yeah,
man.
I'm kind of a fan.
Yeah.
But I like that. Listen, I'll be honest with you. My son, Caleb, he had that Cree Summer hair back when he was a baby. And I always thought that I hated cutting his hair when we had to, and it got really, really tangled up. But I really like that hair.
I like Jada Pinkett Smith in Menace to Society. I thought she was hot as all get out before the traction alopecia made her bald headed.
Yeah, that's bad. Okay, I got to let you go. You'll go nuts.
All right, man.
God bless you. Bob J says attractive racism. He's not a racist. See, that's the whole thing. It's like it's so easy for you to say that about him. He's not. That's not what he is at all. People think that what he says may be a little bit suspect, but he's not. He's not. He's just, again, he sees things from a certain point of view. That's it. You said Reese would love Bull Connor. Yeah. There's something to be said about Bull Connor, but it's not that I like him. That's not what I like him. Maybe they don't. Do you not listen to the show? Do I have to keep telling people? I have to keep telling people. You have to understand the way I look at this in a sort of a weird psychology. And it can't be taught anywhere. In fact, I don't even think it's accredited in any way. Okay? What you guys call racism, even if it is, I never let it affect me. Because it isn't, again, what people say, it's never about me. It's when you personalize it that you get affected. In some way, that issue, whatever it is, if your issue is what happened to George Floyd is racist, I can look at if George Floyd's death was based on racism and look at it as George Floyd's death and the reasons because of it. And if it is racism, I could deal with that. But I don't internalize it. Like Derek Chauvin didn't put his knee on my back. It doesn't become about me. It doesn't become about a collective. I could have been that person. Yeah, so if that is your way of dealing with it, that has nothing to do with George Floyd. That has to do with incorporating yourself into the story of the day. How can I make this about me? How can I make this my struggle? How can I get people to understand what happened to George Floyd could happen to me so then they can empathize with me? It's selfish. That's what that is. And it is. Can I give you an example? Here's Chris Cuomo. Chris Cuomo on his News Nation program talking about just that, about the floods in Texas. He went after somebody, pretty much told him to shut up. He is completely turned off by this individual because why? He found a way to take the tragedy of Texas and make it about him and what he believes. Listen.
Since when is death not more important than your politics? Even if you think policy, decisions, rhetoric, leaders had something to do with the outcome, why does it become tantamount to that outcome? Democratic Senator Chris Murphy, I've been trying to get him on the show. Now I don't want him. Accurate weather forecasting helps avoid fatal disasters. That's what you say? There are consequences to attacking meteorologists? You really believe that that's what this was about? You really think that's what your constituents want? For you to take a cheap shot at dead kids to score points against Trump? Wow. And guess what? The Union for the National Weather Service, and they've been critical of Trump's cuts, and I'm not saying there's not reason for criticism, but it's about perspective. The union says there was adequate staff at the time in Texas, and meteorologists are not faulting the National Weather Service. They're noting that they began to escalate the flood warnings as much as 12 hours in advance of the floods. So shut up, Murphy.
That's the deal. Put the focus on me. See, I'm here. It's me. I'm over here. I'm outraged too. Look at me. I'm outraged. Let me say something provocative. It's just like that Sadie Perkins. She's upset that people are running around looking for these girls, swept away in the middle of the night. Look at me. I'm over here. Look at me. That's what that's about. This is that constant theme of pushing, like the victimhood card. And by the way, let me just make that clear. That's never ever about them. Oh, they are never the victim. Bob, you a victim? You talk about victimhood a lot. Are you a victim? Or are you just talking about the other people, the ones who are too stupid to know that they are? The ne'er-do-wells. Is that who you're talking about? Those victims? You're not poor, right? They are. They're the ones who can't speak for themselves. You're self-appointed, looking out for them. I love it. That ego, baby. That ego's serious. It's real serious. That's good that I can tie that in. When we come back, we'll do what happened was, in case you missed the program, you're just getting to it, so you're getting in your car going home, because I know a lot of you talk about going home. We got to talk about the senators who are speaking out on behalf of Reverend Jacob. We'll also talk about, I'm trying to get some information on Elvira Said, who's in Washington. I think she's supposed to speak to the Department of Justice, but she was at a conference talking about her daughter, Eileen, who took her own life last year at Rider University in New Jersey. We'll get to that as well, see if I can get some details on that. And so much more, plus your phone calls at 860-522-WTIC. Again, 522-9842. Oh, and also we got some movie news. Craig in the car doesn't want to hear about Marvel. I know you're not into it. I get it. These movies make $1 billion, man. Okay? It's news. I'll talk about that a little bit when we get back. The only thing I'm going to talk about is the tactic that they're using. It's an interesting story. All right? We'll get to that in a little bit. Let's get another check of weather and traffic, and we got news with Dave Mager. After Jason Catarinas gives you weather, and, of course, Mark Christopher, who's in the BPS Traffic Center. Hey, Mark.
All right, Reese, thank you very much. Southbound 91, look for delays 33 Jennings Road in Hartford down to exit 25 S&N in Wethersfield. South of that, you're running a little slow as you approach the Route 9 interchange in Cromwell. Northbound 91, a little tight as you move between 22 and Cromwell and 23 in Rocky Hill. After that, good ride, Hartford up into Windsor. Westbound 84 is slowing, approaching the Bulkley Bridge out to 47 Sigourney. 84 eastbound, you've got slow traffic from just after 44 Prospect Oakwood down to the Bulkley Bridge. A little slow again out by the 384 interchange. 291, 384 looking good. 2 eastbounds heavy off of I-84 out to exit 3 in East Hartford. 2 westbound slowing by exit 4A in Glastonbury, and again 1D up to the 84 west merge in East Hartford. 9 northbound slowing Harbor Park to the Aragoni Bridge. 84 eastbound in Cheshire, some sluggish traffic. 26 to the 691 interchange. Westbound 84 slows from the 691 interchange up to 26 in Cheshire. 84 eastbound Waterbury slowing by 17 into New Haven. Southbound on the Parkway delays 60 into the West Rock Tunnel, and 95 southbound delays 46 down to 43 in West Haven. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
For tonight, mostly cloudy, warm, and humid. Some widely separated thunderstorms. The low only down to 70. Cloudy, warm, and humid on Thursday with a couple of showers and a thunderstorm. Could lead to some ponding on streets and highways, so use caution driving in the heavy rain. The high up to 81. A thunderstorm in spots Thursday evening. Otherwise, mostly cloudy, warm, and humid again. The low only down to 69. Quite warm and humid on Friday with a couple of showers and a thunderstorm, mainly later in the day. After a cloudy start, a blend of sun and clouds for the afternoon, the high of 86. On Saturday, a mix of clouds and sun. There'll be a couple of showers around, quite warm and humid, the high moving up to 87 on Saturday. Then on Sunday, sunny to partly cloudy, warm and humid, the high of 85. Monday, low clouds linger throughout the day. There'll be an afternoon thunderstorm or two. Again, quite warm and humid with the high of 86. I'm meteorologist Jason Catarina in the WTIC Weather Center.
And now, a WTIC news update.
84 degrees at 5:30. I'm Dave Mager, WTIC 1080 News. The verdict, not guilty on murder and lesser charges for 20-year-old Raul Valley. He was 16 when he stabbed 4 other teenagers at a Shelton house party in 2022. He claimed self-defense. Killed was 17-year-old Jimmy McGrath, a student at Fairfield Prep. After 3 days of deliberations, the jury says it remains deadlocked on several charges. A mistrial was declared on those, but after previously reporting they were deadlocked on the charge of murder, jurors issued that verdict.
Will the defendant, Raul Elia Valley, please rise and face the jury? Do you find the defendant guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty.
Valley and his attorney did not comment as they left court. Jimmy McGrath's father, Kevin, says he was confident the verdict would be different. Now he's stunned.
Yeah, I'm just in shock that an innocent young man with a brilliant potential is not with us anymore, and the person that took his life is right now free tonight.
The verdict's not guilty on murder and intentional manslaughter in the case of Jimmy McGrath, not guilty of first-degree assault in the stabbings of Ryan Hines and Tommy Connery, not guilty in the stabbing of Faison Teal. The jury deadlocked on reckless manslaughter and more assault charges. A mistrial was declared on those counts. There's a potential primary challenge to Democratic Governor Ned Lamont. State Rep Josh Elliott of Hamden filed paperwork yesterday. Some progressives like Elliott consider Lamont too conservative on some issues, and they're concerned with recent vetoes. Lamont is yet to announce a run for a third term. A formal announcement from Elliott is coming on Monday. Russia is intensifying its attacks on Ukraine. More than 700 drones were fired, the most in the war so far. The Trump administration says today it has resumed sending some weapons to Ukraine. That's a week after the Pentagon directed that some deliveries be paused. CNN reports Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth made that order without consulting the White House. On Wall Street, chip maker NVIDIA is the first public company to top $4 trillion in value. On the stock market today, the Dow was up 218 points. S&P climbed 38. The NASDAQ was up 193. Red Sox and Rockies on WTIC, pregame at 6:10. Yankees host Seattle, Mets in Baltimore, Yard Goats at Portland. WNBA, the Connecticut Sun beat Seattle at Mohegan Sun 93-83. For more, check out WTIC.com. I'm Dave Mager, WTIC 1080 News.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy. In 2011, I founded Wesley Financial Group with one goal in mind, to help honest folks out of their timeshares permanently. Today, I run Wesley with my two sons, a real family business, treating every client and every employee like we'd want our own family treated. That philosophy has helped us grow into the largest, most trusted timeshare cancellation company in the United States. Fortune magazine even recognized us as one of the best places to work. Why? Because we genuinely care. In fact, some of our former clients were so moved by their experience working with us, they joined our team so they could help others to timeshare freedom. If you're stuck in a timeshare, give us a call. Let our family help your family.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit kit. 800-885-9700. 800-885-9700. That's 800-885-9700.
Prescriptions require consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, HIMS can help. Through HIMS.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/joy, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but HIMS can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
The Odyssey app lets you jump back to the moments you missed from WTIC News Talk 1080. Download the free Odyssey app, search WTIC News Talk 1080, and tap earlier today to get started.
We're back. It's Reese on the Radio, News Talk 1080 WTIC. And, yeah, what the heck? It's time for it.
I still don't know what had happened was.
What had happened was.
I still don't know what had happened was.
What had happened was.
It's What Had Happened Was, brought to you by the Odyssey app. Download it so you can find out what you missed, this show and plenty of others, on WTIC News Talk 1080. We talked about the letter that was sent to Attorney William Tong with regards to the Project Veritas video associated with the Metropolitan Community Church of Hartford in that investigation. And, of course, the allegations made by Reverend Jacob Dell, the pastor of the First Congressional Church of Woodbury. Make sure you check that out. Also, we discussed the letter that went out to Commissioner Dykes, Katie Dykes of DEEP, talking about the Army Corps of Engineers telling WFSB that they would not be spraying any DEQUAT in the waterways this year because they don't have any permits, which actually sounds really weird because we know from what we hear that, no, there will be some spraying this year. I think the whole idea is supposed to confuse us in some way, but we'll get to the bottom of that. It looks like that Representative Renee Muir is the one leading the state's effort regarding this issue. So she is she's our go-to on this. And as you heard on the show yesterday, she pretty much chuckled when I said we're going to put a stop to this. Said, you can try. Okay, As I say, challenge accepted. We'll get to that. Also, make sure you check out this interesting bit that I did earlier when I changed the words dequat and hydrilla in the statement by Representative Muir that went out to everyone. And I added Folgers crystals to their statement and replaced those words with COVID vaccine and COVID-19. And make sure you listen to that to get that breakdown. Also, we talked about the Lake Hayward, and the treatment of Flumagard in that lake yesterday. All that and more. So make sure you download the Odyssey app so you can find out what had happened was on WTIC News Talk 1080. Let's get a check of the weather and traffic with Jason Katarina and Mark Christophers at the BPS Traffic Center. Hey, Mark.
All right, Reese, thank you very much. Well, if you're heading 91 southbound into downtown Hartford, look for delays now from exit 33 down to exit 23 in Rocky Hill. Heavy.
I guess you felt like Liam Neeson in Taken when he said, I have a particular set of skills. And the guy was like, good luck.
Ride through downtown up into Windsor. Westbound 84 is tied up. 56 Governor Street out to 45 Flatbush Avenue. 84 eastbound locked up about a mile before 46 Sisson Avenue to the Bulkley. 2 eastbounds heavy off of I-84 out to exit 3 in East Hartford. If you are traveling 2 westbound, delays by 4A. Again, 1D up to the 84 West merge in East Hartford. Middletown 9 northbound slowing Harbor Park to the Aragoni Bridge. If you are traveling on the westbound side of 691, look for slow traffic approaching exit 7 up to exit 8A and B. Westbound side of 84 in Waterbury slowing by 25, and again 22 to the Mixmaster. 84 eastbound Waterbury tight by exit 18. If you are heading down in toward New Haven right now, look for some slow traffic on the southbound side of the Parkway as you move from exit 60 down to 59. And South 95 New Haven tight 46 down to 44 New Haven. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
Brought to you by the CT Insider. Explore more at ctinsider.com.
There's more to Connecticut with CT Insider, a hometown behind every headline. With every issue, investigation, or interview, there's more when you're following from the inside. Visit ctinsider.com for more.
WTIC weather.
All right, there is indeed a couple of heavy showers out there. One just south of Bolton heading into Andover and toward Coventry right now, and one south of Glastonbury moving through Rocky Hill with some very heavy rainfall. So do be aware of those showers, mostly cloudy and humid. Some widely separated thunderstorms tonight. A warm night, the low only down to 70. Then as we head through Thursday, cloudy, humid, couple of showers, and the thunderstorm could lead to some ponding on the streets and highways, the high of 81. A thunderstorm in spots for our Thursday evening, otherwise mostly cloudy, still warm and humid, the low only 69. It just stays soupy all the way in the next week with the humidity. Friday, couple of showers and the thunderstorm mainly later in the day. A cloudy start, then clouds and sun in the afternoon, the high of 86. Saturday, a mix of clouds and sun, couple of showers, the high 87. Sunday, sunny to partly cloudy, still humid, the high of 85. Right now, it is 86 in Waterbury, 81 in New London, 82 in Mansfield, and 81 in Hartford now. I'm meteorologist Jason Katarina in the WTIC Weather Center.
At Columbia Dental, we love to make kids smile. Our expert pediatric dentists specialize in children's dental care, making every visit fun and comfortable. Open 7 days a week. Call 860-645-0111 or visit columbiadental.com.
Looking for better propane savings and services for your home? Go with your local propane pros at Petro. Switch now and get up to $500 free propane. Go to petro.com now or call 877-399-8395 today. Propane not available in all areas.
Want a career that's exciting and full of growth? Join Odyssey's Sales Associate Program. Get the training you need in advertising, marketing, and digital, and be a part of a team that's shaping the future of multimedia. Visit odysseyinc.com/careers and search Sales Associate under Farmington CT.
Paul's new drone startup just lost its most genius computer scientist.
We just lost our best genius to some new genius who's got a genius new idea. I'm going to have to find a new genius or 2 half geniuses and fast.
He needs a computer scientist that can keep his startup from falling down.
I need Indeed.
Indeed, you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
We all hear the radio ads about IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6481. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 575-6481. That's 800-575-6481. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
What's up, everybody? You know who it is. You know who it is. You know who it is. It's Reese on the Radio. Frederick Douglass of the 21st century.
It's WTIC News Talk 1080.
Let me make sure that I play this audio clip. We were talking earlier about the New York City polls that say that Zohran Mamdani is leading the latest election polls in New York with 35%. Andrew Cuomo right behind him, and we don't get to incumbent Eric Adams until fourth place with 11. And Mamdani is being talked about a lot because of not just the fact that he is a communist, but this talk about putting grocery stores, government-run grocery stores, in each of the 5 boroughs of New York City. Just one. And many people have been dismissive. It's just one. It's just one. And if this works, it will grow. And I went and looked this up as he talks about these models, like in, I think it's Kansas, or Kentucky, one of the Ks. I don't know. But as I looked it up, I don't have the paperwork in front of me, it turns out that this idea failed. But he doesn't mention it, nor did the news media take him up on the fact that he mentioned that this is a model he says worked in that area. So the person who's come out and actually pushed back on it is Fernando Mateo. And Fernando Mateo used to be the guy who was a representative for the livery drivers in New York City. And these are the guys who drove the Lincoln Continentals, driving through the Bronx and Upper Manhattan. Many of them Dominican, the large Dominican population drove them, but many of them Hispanic. A lot of Africans actually took this business. It was a way to sort of be entrepreneurial. You know, you didn't have to get a medallion. He fought for them to be able to operate in New York City. He was their representative. Well, now he represents the bodegas in New York. No reason for him to be part of the delivery drivers because that's a problem he fixed. He worked his way out of a job. So now he's working with the bodegas in New York. And here's what he had to say about Mamdani.
Why would one grocery store in each borough put bodegas out of business?
Cancer starts with a small cell in your body. And if you don't extract it, it spreads. You start with one idea like this, a foolish idea, it may spread. And we don't want it to get to that. If he decides that one store worked, maybe 2 stores would work, maybe 100 stores will work. And if you let him spread his ignorance, because this is being ignorant, really, then we have a huge problem.
Why is it ignorant?
It's ignorant because most bodega owners are immigrants. They come from very poor countries. And they come here to try to make a living. and do the right thing by the city. A bodega is not just where you sell food. They're also community centers. So if you're able to infiltrate government into the private sector, you're basically ruining the dreams and the spirits of all these small business people who have risked everything they have, borrowed everything they could borrow to open their small business. It doesn't make sense because not only will it hurt the people he claims he's trying to help, he's going to drive a lot of these businesses out of business, or he's going to scare people. It's like people are scared of ICE. It's like people are scared of people like Mandami that will come in and start opening up businesses and giving food away and competing with those that have invested their money into their small business.
You can't. Why piggyback? Enough said. It is a problem. It is a problem. In those grocery stores, and let me put it this way. I've been to bodegas, again, from New York. You know, I know them well. They are very community-driven. They service a community. The food that they sell, some of it is very ethnic central or ethnic centered. You know, it was where I learned about the Goya Company. It's where I learned what Sazon was. Again, growing up, this is all of that in that store. Now, as a kid, you go there and you just buy, the candy bars, the potato chips and stuff like that. Sure, they service the very basic. But everything else that was in that store, whoo, boy, it was like Guatemalan, Ecuadorian, Honduran. Everybody was serviced in that area based upon the need. Those people are there. Greg says, they're bogatas. My bad. But yeah, that's who they serve. They took care of. Look, I know a lot of people used to say, they take care of their own. I'm telling you this. If you've been to a bodega ever in your life, all I have to do is say one word: coffee. You ever had a cup of coffee from a bodega? You ever had a coffee from a bodega? Not only is it inexpensive, try 50 cents, maybe a little more now. But I remember getting coffee for 50 cents, light and sweet, little blue cup. Coffee was the bomb. It's usually Cafe de Bustelo. Have you ever had cafe? You don't drink coffee. I know you don't drink coffee, Roland. I know you don't. You seem like a person who wouldn't drink coffee. Gosh, that's...
Yeah, they said it stunts your growth, man.
Really? At this point, Roland, what are you, 6'2", 6'3"? What point would that make now? Coffee is man.
I don't want to get shorter.
It doesn't make you short. Stunting your growth means stopping it.
I used to, my grandma used to buy these delicious glazed donuts in New Orleans, and she would make this real good coffee. Mm-hmm. I believe it was Folgers.
Folgers crystals, baby.
And me and my sister would dip our donuts in the coffee and eat it, and that was delicious. And then
heavenly.
Yeah, it was. For many years as a child, we did that until one fateful day when my uncle came in and saw us and said, "You know that stunts your growth, right?"
Oh.
And I never drink coffee again.
I'm
6'1", so I think it all worked out for me.
It's always someone who comes in with an old wives' tale that ruins your life. It's because of my mother I won't go into my wife's purse. I swear to you.
I don't even touch a purse.
You don't touch one, right? Like my mom used to say, never go in a woman's purse. My mom used to say, again, and when you're a kid, you believe every one of these silly little folk tales.
Yep.
My mom used to say, don't go in my purse. There might be a snake in it. I never understood why she said that, but that's what she would say. Might be a snake in it. Now, as I grew older, I realized that what she was saying was, like, a woman might put a snake in her purse in case somebody tried to steal her purse, and then they tried to take the belongings out. A snake would be there and bite them. Get it? Totally get it. But because she said that, I became very superstitious about purses. So if my wife would say something like, "Hey, honey, can you grab my phone from my purse?" I will grab my wife's purse and I will bring it all the way
whole
into the room.
purse,
The
the
whole
entire
purse,
yep.
and give it to her. If she were to tell me to grab anything from it, I would hand it to her. And she would look at me. It's like, why couldn't you just go in there? I was like, nope, I don't do it. I don't go in the purse. And so here's your uncle telling you that coffee stunts your growth, and you haven't touched it in how long? What's it been, 20 years?
That was when I was probably like 11.
Oh, yeah, 20 years. It's probably
30 years.
30 years. Who hasn't touched this stuff? They'll do it to you. It's always those old wives' tales. It's always.
Yeah, when you're a kid, you're very impressionable.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
what they don't tell you.
That's right.
And then when you try, like I try to tell my daughter the same thing, and she don't want to hear it, but she doesn't realize once she get old, she's gonna be like, "Oh man,
Yeah, that's
I
exactly.
should have listened." But that's why they say youth is wasted on the young.
Ralph
Because
Cramden said
we just don't get it until we get older, and
Nope.
then look back and be like, "Oh, I should have."
Yep.
But it's too late.
Yeah, it's always too late. Speaking of too late, let me get to some phone calls real quick before we get up out of here. Texas Teddy, commentary. What's going on, sir?
Well, I was going to get in on the Mumdami or whatever his name is, but
Yeah.
it's kind of, it doesn't even matter. I hope he wins because, to be honest with you, you can talk about the differences, between evils or the lesser two evils and all that.
Right.
But that's kind of like with who his competition is, that's being like, oh, there was probably a good person in the Manson family, and by that you mean that they'd have treated you nicer when they murked you. You know what I mean? Like, and then the other question that I have is, I just want to see if homeboy Roland made it out of my city better than he found it, because I know he's up there in Belo, where I'm from.
Oh, right. He
so
went
I
up to
see.
Buffalo. Yeah, you know what? He did. The only reason why I'm sure he's a little sour, how much money did you win up in Buffalo, Roland? Was it?
Yeah, how much you win?
Not even my money back.
What's your address?
I think he came home with a paltry $500, or was it less than that?
It was well, in a side pot, yeah.
Yeah, that's where I used to hang out at, so I didn't know. I was just curious.
Yeah, no,
Heard him pop in.
he did not come home happy. He was extremely disappointed
Terrible.
at his showing in
All right.
Buffalo.
I'll save some real business for another day, man. Y'all be good. Stay safe.
Thank you. We definitely will. I will say this about that whole Mamdani thing. I'm inclined to agree with Texas Terry in this regard. How do you not sit back and go, man, if he won, like what he would turn that city into? Like you thought de Blasio was bad, but what would it look like with a Mamdani in charge? Like they want it. You get you get what you vote for. What would be the turnout? You can't help but look at that and go, I'm kind of curious. I'm just saying. Last but not least, Steve's in Waterbury. What's going on, buddy?
Hey, will I still be able to get my Lucy's from the steak store?
No, you will not, sir. Those things are off limits. What do you got, buddy?
Gotcha. Hey, really quick, I mentioned the sterile carp and harvesting by machines before. I think the state or government should actually raise their own. I looked on the deal Arcade Gork.
Okay.
And it seems pretty easy because otherwise they're expensive. They got like 5 to 11 year life expectancy. And I don't think they're, we have carp now and they are not native to Connecticut. They were from Asia originally.
Yeah.
But getting back to Obama and getting rid of more immigrants, Trump was going after the bad ones, but he also was there for 8 years. I wonder if they're using his total compared to Trump's right now being in there just about 6 months.
I think the gauge is from the time in office they're going, like based upon how many they did at this time in Obama's, I guess, second term, sort of in that way. So he may be doing less, but I think it just begs the question, again, if indeed this is true, right? If you're informing the people that this is true, you kind of have to ask yourself, then why all the riots, right? He's not even putting a dent in it, which begs, which lends to the idea that this is about changing public perception.
Mm-hmm. Keep in mind, many of them self-deported too because the economy was bad.
It's a good point. That's very true. Yeah, indeed. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate you.
Thanks.
You got it. Yeah, it's exactly. the economy could be so bad under Obama. They were like, oh, man, like, take me back to Honduras. I'd rather work for $1 an hour. It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. Gavin Newsom in South Carolina. What do you think of that, huh? What do you think of that? He's really going to go for it. Ugh. Can't wait to watch that epic fail. Wow. Tomorrow's the day. Tomorrow is the day. Y'all know? It's Negro Nonsense Day. That's tomorrow. I'm looking forward to it. More news, more views than you can shake a stick at. We'll be back to do just that. As I always say, radio is free, so we thank you for paying attention. Remember to keep JC in your hearts and in your mind. Sean Patrick, we love you and we miss you. Remember that panic is not planning, so plan your work and work your plan. Me, I'm Reese on the Radio. You, have a good night, pleasant tomorrow. We'll see you back here next time. Jason Catarina's got weather, and Mark Christopher's getting you home in the BPS Traffic Center. Good night, sir.
Hey, good night, Reese. If you're heading westbound 84, look out for an accident.
All right, good sir.
58 on the westbound side of 84 in East Hartford.
Enjoy yourself. Enjoy your night.
Westbound 84 getting slowing just after 56 Governor Street out to 47 Sigourney. 84 eastbound slowing a half mile before 46 Sisson Avenue down to the bus.
Oh, training?
Yeah,
oh, yeah.
Cheek 30.
Them things is trash.
Oh, so hate them.
Down to exit.
They're just so arduous,
down to
but they're
23 in Rocky Hill for some shot.
Yeah, I know.
All right, if you're traveling 91 north,
yes, sir.
You move between 22 and 23 in Rocky Hill. After that, moving well. Hartford up into Windsor, 291, 384 okay. So the river, 2 westbound, slowing exit 4.
All right, folks. Manana, thank you, sir. Michael A., always great. I hope you guys are here for tomorrow. We're going to make it really, really fun, as usual. All right? And I got to call this carp guy real quick. All right, I'll let you guys. Stay good.